Golden Nugget carries famous designers like Tacori, Garagio, and many more. And with the largest inventory of loose diamonds around, they can also help you create your own design. Golden Nugget has the best price guarantee, a lifetime upgrade policy, and jewelers on site for same-day repairs and cleanings. Their friendly, family-oriented staff will make you look and feel like a hero. Golden Nugget Jewelers at the corner of 8th and Chestnut or at goldennuggetjewelry.com. It's where Philly gets engaged.
Where else can you roll the dice, spin the wheels, enjoy a variety of dining options and entertainment in Fishtown? Look no further than Rivers Casino. Take a chance on our $15 table games where the stakes are high and the fun never ends. From blackjack to craps to Spanish 21, we've got something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Roll into the excitement with $15 table games at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ho, welcome to the Make It Jingle with Chris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi.
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Welcome to Pond Lehocky, the largest workers' compensation law firm in Pennsylvania. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. Even better, Pond Lehocky doesn't charge a dime until you win. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Go green! For over 100 years, West Pharmaceutical Services has embraced commitment to sustainability for an evergreen planet. During the 2024 Eagles season, West is once again partnering with the Eagles for its Field Goal Forest program. With each successful field goal kicked this season, the Eagles and West will plant 30 trees. West is a proud sustainability partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles and West, by your side for a healthier world. Learn more at westpharma.com/Eagles.
94 WIP HD1 Philadelphia. Sports Radio 94 WIP presents the Eagles Radio Network. Big Play Slay.
And it's knocked down. Eagles win. Slay knocks it down.
Today, Saquon Barkley's record-setting season continues.
Saquon Barkley has just set the Eagles' single-season rushing record.
It's the clash for the Keystone State as the Eagles face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today's game is sponsored in part by PNC Bank, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, PDQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems, your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, Verizon, and Piazza Auto Group. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Welcome to the Verizon Pregame Show, the Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon, and we have ourselves a big one here at the Linc today. The 11-2 Eagles, the 10-3 Steelers, alongside Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Elliott Shore-Parks, and Ruben Frank. I am Joe Giglio. After a quiet week, no drama around here, guys. Welcome on in. We got a big one today as the Eagles go for a 10th win in a row. Ike Reese, good afternoon.
Holla at your boy, Joe G.
There we go.
Listen, it's game day. I just want you to know it's game day.
Get him his neck roll.
And here's what I'm telling you. I'm tired of seeing it's too many damn Steeler fans out here. I'm just saying. I've seen way too many of them.
Get them out.
I've seen way too many. I've seen them in the parking lot. They're inside of here. I mean, my goodness. I understand the Steelers have a good fan base. They travel. But I'm going to just say this. I don't want to hear inside this stadium any type of roaring or cheering where it seems like the Steelers are overtaking our crowd.
No,
the
terrible
terrible
towels.
towels.
Yeah,
You
no, I
don't
want
wanna
to see
the
none of
terrible
that.
towels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see none of that stuff.
Well, I've never seen a fan base take over the Linc before, so I've been
It's
pretty
never
surprised.
happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
I'd be
here.
pretty surprised.
I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of Steelers fans out here tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to be quiet
This
today.
afternoon,
Well,
I
they better be
I've seen
quiet
a couple
today.
that can stay though.
You?
I said that on the
Lock
like
in.
Like the women from Pittsburgh?
I'm just saying, I said it on my breath.
Can we lock in, Hugh? We got ourselves, Elliot, what I consider a must-win game. Elliot, where are you on this team after what has been the most dramatic week of the season so far?
Yeah, I think this team has been resilient all year. The 2-2 start, the drama after the Browns game, and this is another week where they have to be resilient. Obviously, Brandon Graham got it started this week on the Brandon Graham Show, the passing offense last week. So I think it's a must-win game. This is not a game where if they lose, it's a must-win game. You can't go to Washington next week with another week of drama on the road, division potentially on the line. They're a better team than the Steelers. Go out and prove it and be resilient today. But I think it's a must-win. This is not a can't lose. It's a must-win.
Ruben, where do you come down on the importance of this one? Look, they've won 9 in a row. They are in a good spot in the division, but not totally locked up yet, but in a good spot. But, Ruben, it's been a week where there's now been doubt cast back upon them, especially on their offense and their passing game. Do they need a win today? Do they need to lead a good performance? What do you need to see today, Rube?
Well, they do, but in the if you look at the big picture, it's an AFC opponent. They're gonna be the number 2 seed. It's really hard for them to not be the number 2 seed. I think they're not locked into it, but it's going to be tough to not be 2. So look, you want to beat the team. They're a good team. They're a good opponent. They're a tough team. They're similar to the Eagles in a lot of ways. You'd love to see them win, get to 10 in a row, be the longest winning streak in Eagles history. But if you don't win this game, it's not a catastrophe. You're still probably going to be at worst the number 2 seed.
That just sounds a lot to me like last year.
Hold up. Why are we resigned to being the number 2 seed?
I said it's most likely they're going to be the number 2 seed.
But it sounds like you're resigned.
You giving up
room.
I'm just saying, mathematically, if you look at it, they're most likely.
Okay, so what if Buffalo beats Detroit today?
Said the math.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's possible they'll be the number. I mean, that's a lot of stuff's got to happen to get to number 1 with Minnesota, with the Lions.
Who has the hardest schedule remaining between the Lions and the Eagles?
Oh, the Lions. By a lot.
So why is it so impossible?
I didn't say it's impossible. I said mathematically, it's most likely they're going to be a 2 seed.
Because they got to lose 2 games, correct?
Right.
They got to lose 2.
I know what everybody is saying. But what I'm saying is, you sound like others have sounded this week with being resigned to being the number.
I'm being realistic.
Well, it's not about being realistic.
Tell them, you're shooting for the win.
I'm
ready for the
loss. You want to win the game, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. That's all I'm saying.
So you're telling me the Eagles playing at home today versus the Steelers and Detroit playing against Buffalo. Detroit has won, 11 straight games, 10 straight games. Buffalo's coming off a loss. So
they might be fired up.
What's more likely to happen?
Buffalo winning is more likely than the Steelers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they're a 1.5-point underdog, and the Steelers are 5.5.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
you guys sound like a bunch of softies.
Well, to Ike's point,
I'm just telling you, it's what you sound like. It's what you
sound like a homer. I'm saying realistically, they're probably going to be the 2 seed.
I don't sound like a homer. I sound like somebody until it's actually proven and it's actually done. I'm holding out hope that we can host the NFC Championship game here.
Sure.
It's not about being a homer. It's about what's out there.
Just being realistic, Ike. I call it like I see.
But
it.
I also think
the numbers say it's most likely to be the 2 seed.
What numbers?
So
what numbers?
The odds. I mean, the odds are that they're going to be the. Oh, come on. I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Math.
I don't.
Okay.
Look,
so if the Eagles win today and Detroit lose, then what's the same?
It'll change dramatically. It'll change. It'll probably be closer to 50-50.
So then I actually am okay waiting until the results actually happen.
Well, it's before the game right now, Ike. The game hasn't happened yet. We're talking about sitting here right now. What does it look like? That's all we're talking about.
Well, hold on. So
I don't know. Detroit has to play Minnesota still. They have to go to Chicago. What does it look like?
It looks like it looks like the Lions have the better chance, but it's not locked up yet. That's the reality.
That's what I'm saying.
But there's another element to this, guys. There's the 1 seed, which is really important, and we try to get that. But you guys know, and everyone out there knows as much as I do, if the Eagles don't play well today or their offense doesn't look good, the doubt's going to creep back in. I mean, Elliot, this game for me is important even more than the standings. Ike and Ruben go back and forth all day. We know what the standings are, but there's more than that. If they lose today and the offense looks poor, you know what the story is going to be Monday. Here we go again, where something's going the wrong way in December.
Well, and that's why.
Well, why is that?
But yeah,
Because of what happened last.
because of what
week.
happened last year. But
You know,
to
with
Ike's
the
point, to
whole
Ike's
Brandon
point,
Graham thing. and
there
all that.
has
Don't
to
blame BG.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
It's
this.
the quarterback
Well,
and the
hold
receiver.
Hold on. This is where I'm at with all of this. I mean, you can put as much into that as you want to, and that's based on what you feel and what you're thinking. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. I think the Eagles are the better team today. They're going to come out and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if they don't, it doesn't have anything to do with last year or anything else. I'll judge what happens based on what happens on the field. If we don't play well today, I'm going to judge that. It's not going to be based on what happened last year. I think we hold on to what happened last year because there's an inherent fear in some of us with this team, and there's a disbelief with some of us with this team. So when you're sitting, we're in a position that I am where I don't have that. I don't have to necessarily be worried or concerned about last year or any of that stuff. I'm just judging this team all based on what I've seen over the last 2.5 months, and it's a very good football team. Quite frankly, you could arguably make it the second best or best football team in all of football.
So
I mean that's what you could say.
I agree. They are probably the best team, if not the second best team in the NFL. 100%. I just know that last year did happen, and last week in the locker room, it felt to me like a last year locker room. They were not happy with the win. They were upset with how the passing game played. Nick has to remind them repeatedly to celebrate the success of winning. So you were right that last year's team
because people like you are always asking questions that
I
we don't
didn't
want
ask
to
about
ask.
that.
You did ask the question, Elliot.
Which question? About the offense?
The one that burned down the city for a
Yeah,
week.
yeah, okay. I asked how the offense was. It's a pretty,
Elliot, this is obviously your fault.
So it's
Yeah,
Elliot's fault.
It's always
now. It's
Elliot's fault. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, season opener receiver, doesn't throw it. Blame Elliott.
Well, he might set a career low for interceptions, by the way, for everyone that wanted to, take a dunk on the training camp stats. But what I will say, like all this kind of wrapping it up, like I think they have to keep a sense of urgency. And that's why, yes, is the number one seed likely? It might not be likely, but I think they have to go into this game feeling like it's a must win. Last year, that collapse happened for a lot of reasons. One of it is, we heard Dallas Goedert say it. They took their foot off the gas. They looked at the schedule. They said we had the Cardinals, the Giants, the Seahawks, and they lost to all those teams, right? So while they have the easier schedule, the reason it's a must-win for me today is this locker room has to regain and feel the confidence and momentum that they have had. Last week was a step in the wrong direction. They won the game, but for the locker room, it was a step in the wrong direction. They got to get back on the right track today before last year starts to creep in everybody's mind.
Listen, I argue that last week was a step in the right direction. Let me spin this thing. Let me
Go ahead, get your little spin around.
Well, let me spin this thing.
Spin Dr. Reese. Let's hear it.
Well, because here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'll tell you. There are real issues there. There are real concerns there, and they needed to be addressed, not swept under the rug. Yeah. They were forced to address this stuff this week.
I agree.
And I'm not talking about address it with us, the fans. They had to address it with themselves. AJ obviously had an issue or is having an issue with the way the offense from a passing standpoint has been going on. And I won't even say it's just AJ. Devontae as well. And quite frankly, I agree with him.
Yep.
I
think everyone does.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Should be better.
Who doesn't agree with him? My only point is that if you can at least address it, talk it out, and come to an understanding, you can move on. Because here's what I'll say after AJ addressed all of that. We're winning football games, bro. Stop it with all the individual nonsense. We're winning football games. You can want all your accolades all you want to. Bottom line is, this is a team game, and the majority of the team feels differently. Right? The majority of the team is happy that they're winning games. They don't care how they're winning the games. I don't hear Jalen complaining that he's not throwing for 300 yards and he should be in the MVP race.
No, I agree with you. The offensive line likes the way they're doing it. The quarterback likes the way they're doing it. The defense definitely likes the way they're doing it.
Right.
You're right.
The majority of the team is happy that they're winning games.
Right. I agree with that. But today, like you said, it could be a good thing. And you're right. It could be a good thing. Jalen and AJ spoke in front of the team. BG talked. Maybe this finally put to bed an issue that's been an issue for a little while. But today we find out. And that's why it's an important must-win game. Because if all this happens over the last week and then they lose, the drama just goes right back up. It is what it is. And so that's why it's critical they win.
Well, I agree with you, Elliot. And on the other side, we're going to talk.
You're master of drama too.
We are going to talk about the issue. You said address the issue. We're going to take on the issue.
Jalen ain't threw 300 yards in a long ass time.
300.
He doesn't have to.
Well, he doesn't.
Team has won 9 straight games.
All right, let's talk about the other side. We'll talk about this passing game. How big of an issue is this?
How many 300-yard games did Trent Dilfer have?
Now we got Trent Dilfer.
Brad Johnson have.
The Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Are you tailgating right now? Stop by the WIP Toyota Tailgate Zone next to the Wells Fargo Center for a chance to win Eagles Dallas tickets. Thanks to your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud partner of the Eagles. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL.
Hi, this is Howard Eskin, and you can get game day and holiday ready with Jack Daniels at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store. Pick up the original Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, Jack Fire, or Jack Honey 1.75 milliliter bottles, all for $3 off, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke, or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar. Now ready to drink in a can. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Especially 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and all the percent of the registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, Eagles fans, this is Merrill Reese. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Philly's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a Philly area Verizon store.
When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes to storage solutions. And we get the job done fast. In just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without the hassle. So trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com. And let's cook up something extraordinary.
Birds fans will tell you, the other team might not notice the early warning signs of trouble, like the quick hits, the pressured throws, the third and longs. Heart failure can sneak up on you too. The early warning signs can be subtle: sudden weight gain, loss of appetite, persistent cough, and more. It's a serious condition that needs expert care from a team like Deborah Heart and Lung Center. So if something's just not right, take a time out and ask a Deborah specialist. DemandDeborah.org.
'Tis the season to get a great deal at Toyotathon. Hurry in to your local Toyota dealer and give yourself the gift of great value on a new Toyota. Unwrap these deals before they're gone. Visit Toyota.com for more information. Toyota, let's go places. Day and night, PGW puts our energy into keeping you safe at home. PGW's 24/7 safety monitoring, infrastructure upgrades, and industry expertise help to deliver the essential energy you rely on and trust. And every mile of infrastructure we upgrade keeps energy delivery in Philadelphia more clean and more affordable. When you see us in your neighborhood, we're working harder than ever to stay on schedule and continue the work of keeping you safe at home. Remember, natural gas smells on purpose. Smell us? Tell us. PGW.
Miss Jill Scott here, partnering with Pico, the team that powers what matters to my hometown and yours. They're connected to our communities because they live, work, and play here too. You can find Pico volunteering in our neighborhoods, embracing clean energy, partnering with local nonprofits like mine, and working around the clock to make sure the lights are on and the natural gas is flowing. And through it all, they're here to make sure we're all shining together. Learn more at pico.com/shine.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Linc Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Bird Gang Spirits is made for the true Philly fans, the pre-gamers, tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. Now you can raise a glass to number 25 himself, Eagles legend LaShawn Shady McCoy, with their new very limited edition Bird Gang Shady Bourbon Whiskey. Crafted to honor Shady's induction into the Eagles Hall of Fame, this special release is the spirit of Philly pride
pride in every port. Pre-order now to reserve a bottle or two of LaShawn Shady McCoy's Bird Gang Kentucky Bourbon at BOTLD.com. Please drink responsibly. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles, powered by Verizon. All right, guys, we kind of danced around it with the drama, but let's talk about what's been going on the field, specifically with the passing game and the quarterback. Our player to watch is Jalen Hurts, sponsored by the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers, Local 1 of Pennsylvania and Delaware. Now hiring bricklayers, stonemasons, and rubble masons. Visit BAC-1.org to apply today. Ruben, what's your feeling right now on Jalen? I mean, last week was a weird week in that if you just look at numbers, it was like it wasn't that bad, but we all watched the game and we saw there were guys open and he didn't throw the ball.
Yeah, and obviously you got to throw the ball if you want to win games, and they did win that game, but he's got to be better, and he knows that. I think, they've only had Dallas, Devontae, and AJ for 4 games all year, and I think that's really hurt the offense. I mean, they don't have a lot of other weapons, and if AJ's getting doubled and Devontae's either not there or not open, who do you throw the ball to? I mean, you got, Jahan Dotson's been a big disappointment. Calcaterra's had a little run, but it's a problem not having those 3 guys together. The offense just hasn't figured out how to operate without that full cast of guys. So I think Jalen's got to be better. I think Kellen Moore's got to be better getting Jalen into a rhythm early, which he hasn't been able to do. I think everybody's got to be better, and it's great that they have this incredible running game to draw on when they need it. It's always there. But, yeah, I mean, at some point they're going to have to make plays in the air, and they just haven't done that consistently.
Elliot, your feeling right now on Jalen as the week has gone on? Look, I think they've said the right things, but he's got to do it on the field. It's not about what he says. It's about how he plays.
Yeah, so I think he's playing way better than he's being given credit for. He obviously can be better in the passing game. Rewatching the Panthers game a few times this week, he's holding on to the ball probably too long or more than he should. He's not throwing it unless the guy is wide open and he's 100% sure what he's looking at. But guess what? I'm okay with that because when he doesn't turn the ball over, this team basically never loses. Since 2022, I think they're 20-1 when they take care of the ball. So the passing numbers aren't great. He's not somebody that is going to throw for 300 yards a bunch of weeks in a row for all these wins. It's just not where they're at right now. But I'm fine with Jalen playing the way he is, and it can absolutely win a Super Bowl with the way Jalen Hurts is playing.
Oh, I disagree.
No,
they can't. They can't.
Why?
No,
But he's not turning it over, and that's the most.
But he has to make
part.
plays.
That's not the. Listen, that's part of the equation. Don't turn the ball over. Like Joe just said, you still have to make plays.
But he is making plays. He is.
Well, he needs to make.
In the passing game, they had 88 net yard passing last week.
So first of all, yes, last week is one game, and I said he didn't play as well as he should in that game. But overall in the season, Jalen is playing well enough to win the Super Bowl. He's been arguing.
Why you keep saying to win the Super Bowl?
Because that's the goal.
But
Elliot,
I think we're conflating his overall stats with the
Yeah.
trends. Elliot, Cincinnati, he looked like a quarterback to win the Super Bowl. That was a month and a half, 2 months ago. In the last month, 41% of his dropbacks are scrambles, throwaways, or sacks.
And what's his winning percentage over the last?
But Elliot, come on.
But that's part of it.
We did this last year. We did it last year when their defense sucked, and we were like, "Well, they're winning."
Well, that's the good part of it. That their defense is good.
Well, that's the point.
But this will get them. If AJ Brown feels the same way. If he doesn't play better, they're in trouble.
So last week, yes, when they pass the ball, he has to be better with his reads. I agree with that. But ultimately, he's still playing way better than he's being given credit for. You can say he doesn't make big plays. I think he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league on third down this year. He's run for more third downs than anybody else. He has more big plays on third down through the air than anybody else. Yes, on first and second down, I agree. The passing game has work to do. But when you take care of the ball and you make big plays on big downs, you're going to win a lot of games, and that's exactly what he's doing.
That's good. Listen, I judging Jalen's play is so tricky.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
It really is.
It really is.
Because Elliot's right.
Thank you.
Not
to a certain extent.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah,
cut that audio. Yeah. Save that one.
Completely. Yeah. What's going to happen, E, if we get down or we're today is a good. I mean,
That's the Joe Giglio theory.
Pittsburgh doesn't have George Pickens today, so maybe it doesn't come to fruition today. But when you're facing a team like the Vikings or the Rams, or I know we beat the Rams, but you're facing a team like the Lions or what have you, I do need more out of the passing game. And that's where I'm not all the way one here or all the way there. I understand where AJ's coming from with his frustration. I just wish he didn't voice it. And Jalen, he had the quote about, and I'm paraphrasing, this is the way Jalen Hurts plays football.
It's going to look the way.
He's the third person moment.
I get that, and he's right to a degree. Like, we have to appreciate, like, that's who he is and what he is. But I also understand when there's opportunities there to be even better, you want to take advantage of those. His play at that position is a complex thing to evaluate and appreciate. I don't know any other way to say it.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Hurts. I really do. But I also understand the frustration when the game could be easier if you're connecting on passing.
Jalen's had a lot of big passing games in his career,
Right.
not lately. He's capable. I don't think we can let Kellen Moore off the hook here because I think he's got a big role. And look, you're running the ball so well, it's a tricky thing because you don't want to stop doing it. But I think Kellen's got a big hand in Jalen's performances here because he's not.
No, I think
guys are open,
it's
right?
Jalen.
The way he
Like,
has.
like we thought it was Brian Johnson last year. Brian Johnson's gone, and he's still making the same mistake. So, like, I agree. Ultimately, it's on everybody to get the passing game going. But guys are open, and Jalen's not throwing the ball.
This is the problem.
You
That
just said
the
he's playing
passing
great.
game,
Well,
the
no, he is
passing game
overall.
isn't as efficient as it needs to be. And to your point, it's one of those things where we play football where we know that around this time of year, it's about balance. Now, you want. Like we went further one way than we did the other because the passing game, the running game factors big around this time of the year, and the thing that has had us all kind of like in our feelings a little bit is the fact that the passing game, or did I say that? Or I said the running game is what gets you around this time of year. Right. This is what sustains you, but the passing game has to be a part of that as well, and that's where we're kind of lacking. And it doesn't have to be. To me, when I look at Jalen, it's not so much. Because I think that people, when they want him to throw the ball, they want more volume. I don't really necessarily need more value. I need volume. I need more efficiency.
Better when they and I think that's what AJ is saying too, for what it's worth. Like, yes, would AJ and Devontae love to have 10 targets a game each? Of course, every single player in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I think the frustration last week came from the fact that it was not the amount of attempts; it was that in those attempts, AJ was open and Jalen's not getting him the ball. So I agree. Like, if you want to tell me Jalen has to play better as a passer, yes, I think there are obvious areas he could improve. But what I hear a lot with Jalen is like creating these hypotheticals, like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? And we've seen him win almost every style of game. So could they lose to the Lions in a game where Jalen doesn't throw well enough? Yes, that could happen. But ultimately, I don't go into that Lions game afraid of it.
So I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. Like, he keeps winning, and this is working. And I also agree with the math on this, Elliot. If they're throwing 40 times a game, I'm sure the receivers just shrug their shoulders if he scrambles and throws the ball out of bounds 4 times. Like, who cares? We got 36 more throws. Right. Elliot, when you're only throwing 20 times and 40% of his throws are nothing, like they're either negative or a scramble by him. Yeah, then it's like we're wasting all these plays.
And the receivers get frustrated.
Yeah, of course they do.
That's basically what has happened in the last couple of weeks.
Honest question, though. Like, they've beaten the Ravens, the Rams, Washington. I mean, why do we think in the playoffs all of a sudden the formula is going to change?
Because
they're going to play better.
Well, it's not
teams.
going to change.
Right. Like,
it's not going to change.
But also, hold on. They've played one defense this season that's in the top 10 in yards allowed. Those teams come with name recognition, but the Washington defense isn't good. The Rams defense is only okay. They gave up 50 points last week for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is the first defense they're going to face in the top 10 since Green Bay, and that was back in week 1.
And good news. They won't play Pittsburgh until the Super Bowl again after this. So, like, what defense is in the
Minnesota
NFC?
and Detroit.
Minnesota, yes. Okay,
Minnesota's good defense.
Minnesota has a good defense.
They're going to have to go through some real starting today. I mean, today might be the best.
Detroit is going to get healthy. If we see Detroit in the playoffs, they're going to be a lot healthier.
Well, especially if you got to play them up there.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot healthier than they were the season, the regular season. They're going to be a lot healthier because they get some of those guys back.
All right, quickly.
You said the Packers had a great defense. How many points they put up on the Packers in week?
Not a great defense.
Well, that's what Joe said.
Well, that's the only one so far that's right now.
And it's the only one they've played.
Well, that was week 1.
And it was. And Jalen almost threw 4 picks.
Right. So that game also doesn't count. We're talking about like Jalen doing something.
No, but he didn't play well. They
won the game and he had over 30. They scored over 30 points.
You can separate how he plays versus the team wins.
Yeah.
He didn't play well last week. They won.
He has the largest.
I didn't think he played that great in the first game.
I didn't think so either. He definitely had throws he won back. I agree, but the quarterback has the most to do with winning the game. So when they continually win for a long stretch and against teams you think are good, eventually you have to accept that the way he plays is a winning formula.
But A.J. Brown doesn't accept it. I mean, like, they have to fix it.
Yes, they have to be better in parts of the passing game. I agree. That doesn't mean Jalen can't win in the playoffs. Like, I'm not as concerned as you are about it.
Well, I mean, clearly. Well, we'll see. I mean, like, and if he plays better with what they have around him, they can win the Super Bowl. That's how good this team is right now, and they have won 9 in a row. All right, on the other side, we will look at the state of the race here, what the Eagles could do with a clinch today if things go their way. And then Saquon Barkley, his pursuit of the MVP. All coming up. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Football is all about protection. Helmet protects your head. The line protects the QB. But what's protecting you? With Penny, Pennsylvania's health insurance marketplace, you can protect yourself with high-quality health coverage at the lowest cost. It's open enrollment. Doors are open for Pennsylvanians to apply and enroll at penny.com. Enroll by December 15th. You're worth protecting at pennie.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
The Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 1 of Pennsylvania and Delaware, founded in 1865, is the longest continuous union in North America. Founded right here in Philadelphia. Bricklayers, stonemasons, rubble masons looking for excellent and competitive wages, top-notch health care, safe working conditions, state-of-the-art training facilities, and premier retirement packages. Please apply within. Call the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers at 215-856-9505 or visit bac-1.org to apply today.
Win big this holiday season with CNC Heating and Air Conditioning's win-win deal, offering the best HVAC value on new installs to keep your home warm. Save thousands instantly with no equipment markups, extended 10-year warranty, rebates, and tax credits. Plus, CNC makes budgeting for your new system easy with 0% financing options. Schedule your free estimate today with CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York certified comfort experts. Visit cc-hvac.com. Offers only for new installations through January 31st. The Piazza Auto Group is proud to have served as the halftime sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network for over 20 years. As we hope for another championship, it's the perfect time to drive home in the new or certified pre-owned vehicle you've been wanting. The Piazza Auto Group features 18 brands, including Honda, Acura, Mazda, Hyundai, Genesis, Mini, Nissan, Subaru, and Volkswagen. To find the location nearest you or to shop their extensive inventory, visit PiazzaAutogroup.com. Looking for unique holiday gifts? Visit Columbus Farmers Market, the Delaware Valley's oldest and largest flea market. Over 1,200 outside vendors, a bargain hunter's dream, featuring thousands of new and used items and one-of-a-kind finds. Visit over 60 inside stores and restaurants. Open every Thursday through Sunday on Route 206 in Columbus, New Jersey, just minutes from NJ Route 295 and Exit 7 of the New Jersey Turnpike. Free admission and free parking. Open year-round. Visit ColumbusFarmersMarket.com.
Hi, this is Joe Mederich, PNC Bank Regional President. People ask us, is PNC just a boring bank? Well, that depends. Is starting a business boring or being the first person in your family to go to college? For nearly 160 years, we've done the hard and occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results to our clients. To see what boring banking can do for you, stop into any of our local branches right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Looking to spruce up your kitchen with new appliances? D&K Appliances, family owned and operated, offers brands such as Bosch, Cafe, GE, Thermador, KitchenAid, Sub-Zero, Monogram, and even outdoor kitchen appliances. Their staff are local experts guiding you through the consultation process, so you will love your kitchen every day. D&K Appliances offers 100% in-house service, from delivery and installation to service, unlike competitors. Visit D&K Appliances in Newtown Square and Flourtown, or DKappliances.com. D&K Appliances, the dependable difference.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for the Eagles and the Steelers, the Battle of Pennsylvania today. And a lot on the line today for the Eagles. Not just another win, which would be 10 in a row, which would be a franchise record. But let's get to the state of the race here, both within the NFC and the rushing mark.
The state of the race.
All right, guys, let's start with Saquon Barkley. It is what's on the menu. Sponsored by Hatfield. Put pork on your fork. Visit simplyhatfield.com for game day recipe inspiration. All right, Elliot, Saquon is 483 yards away from the NFL rushing record. And I feel like today is like the tipping point day. If he can get over 100, 120 against this defense and against this rush defense, I mean, you think about the next three teams, right? Washington, one of the worst rush defenses. Dallas and the Giants, bottom. Elliot, today's the day. He gets over 100 today. I think he's going to break this record.
Yeah, and I think the offensive line really wants it. I think they want to do it in before the final game too. I think they know if it lasts to that final game, there's a shot that they won't get a chance at it. But
like hell, they won't.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But the offensive line, when we talked to him, I feel like on the players' lounge, I think it was Landon that said, they only have 3 games left to do it, including this one. So I think they're viewing it that way. But the Steelers do have a great rushing defense. I just don't think the Eagles care. Like, the Eagles have played great rushing defenses before. Baltimore a few weeks ago, first play of the game, right up the middle, running the ball. So I think Saquon will get over 100 yards today, and I think he is very well on his way to breaking that record.
Let me just tell you, I don't care what anybody says today. You get to that final game of the season, and if it's 75 yards or less, they're playing.
I'll do 100 or less.
Well, okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, it feels like it'll be real close.
They want to break this record, the offensive line and Saquon.
Yep.
And they shouldn't be made to feel like they're being selfish
100%.
or putting individual goals ahead of team goals. This is something that's historic, that he's worked for all this year. The offensive line has been a great vehicle for Saquon to get to this point. And so they want this thing as a collective group. And I rebuke it.
I like it.
Wow. Anybody that's trying to condemn these guys for this, man. Like, it's obviously not in place of winning a title or getting to the Super Bowl. But to have your name in the record books, coming off the year that he's coming off, leaving the team that he left, and it possibly happened against that team in the final game of the season, I don't see how we don't see how great this would be for us as Eagles fans, for this organization, and for the NFL. A record that to be broken or potentially broken 40 years, the rushing record. Come on, man.
That's a lot to digest.
Man, that's a lot, man. That's we want that. You want that in this Eagles. You know how great that would feel for this Eagles fan base to have Saquon Barkley as the all-time leading rusher in NFL history.
Potentially MVP.
In this uniform. Come on, man.
Well, especially when
the fans want it, Saquon wants it, and the offense. His teammates want it. They want it. They want it. They want that record.
I'll tell you what else is not just want it, but very possible. Also an MVP award with it. I know that's different. But
that's
politics
right there. I think we can still get robbed out of that.
Well,
I don't know. He sets the franchise.
I
he
agree.
Sets the rushing record. I think he wins it.
I'm just saying they want to give it to a quarterback.
They do.
Believe me, they do.
How many? So we'll see what happens today. It obviously impacts the Eagles, the Lions, and the Bills. How many games can Josh Allen lose and still win the MVP? He lost last week.
I agree.
Yeah, he played great. I know he had 6 touchdowns.
But he can't keep losing and still win it.
Listen, today, let's say it plays out where the Bills lose to the Lions, which we hope it's the other way. But if it happens that way, and Saquon wins and runs for 150 on the Steelers,
he's got to be the favorite.
He should be the favorite.
Yeah, I agree.
Hugh, what do you think on this?
I'm with you. It, like Ike makes a strong point. We're really close, and it feels like today is going to be a big measuring stick for how close, for how close we're going to be to that rushing title. And man, the way he framed it to go into that last game.
Man.
Well, especially who it's against.
Man,
listen.
How
And
could you tell them you
frankly,
can't break it against the Giants?
Quite frankly, we may not have anything else to play for but that. That'll be the talk of the week.
And it
for
comes
us
full
is
circle,
breaking
right?
that record.
The league year started with Saquon leaving the Giants for the Eagles, and then he
here's
breaks
the
it
thing.
against the Giants.
And here's the thing. I think that people need to realize, because I've heard people say this. If Saquon plays, they all play.
Oh, yeah.
Like
they all play.
people are talking about, oh, well, they're gonna have 9 stars. No, everybody named Mama.
Dude, those linemen want to be out there.
They want
to be out there.
And that's why I think the final week, if Nick sits these guys, they will feel that he is taking something from them.
Yes.
More so than protecting them, right?
Yes.
They want this. So if that final game is here and it's 100 yards or 85, whatever it is, like you better believe those guys are going to want to play. And if Nick doesn't sit them, there's also something for like they set a goal of doing this, allowing them to accomplish it would be a huge boost heading into the postseason.
I agree with that. I agree. The other thing at stake today.
Give me a Saquon jersey.
Woo. Kelly Green or midnight?
That would look real.
Well, no, it's got to go midnight.
You got to go midnight.
All right, I'm a midnight
You
green.
gonna wear
guy.
another man jersey though? I mean, that's
You got to go with what he sets it in. Yeah.
Well, since you put it that way,
I'm just saying.
I already helped him with
I'm
his
not gonna be
buttons,
mad
so,
at
know.
you.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be mad.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
judge you.
I ain't gonna say that to you in public, but I'm gonna be looking at you like, damn.
Since you put it that way, yes.
Do we think that button thing's going to happen again today, or is that a one-off? Elliot?
Hey, whenever Saquon needs help with his buttons, I'm happy.
That's a team player right there.
Exactly right.
That is.
That was out of line right
No,
there.
it's
Well, he asked.
it's a Christmas season, you know.
You
it's
know
about,
when we started workshopping how that whole thing went, it really didn't go in your favor though, dog.
Nah. Well, I
thought it was cool, but then when I started talking to family members, and stuff,
Like if Hugh asked me to button his cufflink,
that's something different.
I'm his dude, so I'm good with that.
Well, I would button your guys' buttons easy, no question about it.
No,
Yeah.
but we're friends. I'm just
We're
saying,
family
you
dynamic.
and Saquon aren't friends.
Well, I like to think we are, especially
Yeah.
after that.
Well, you better think that now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We need to buy you a drink now.
Yeah.
to make it right.
All right, quickly. It looks like next week will end up being a potential NFC East division title clinch because the Washington is up 14-0 right now in
they
New
are?
Orleans. If they lose, Eagles win. It's over today. Otherwise, Eagles could clinch it next week down in Washington against the Commanders. All right, coming up, Dave Spadaro will join us. His thoughts on the game, the matchup, and obviously all the drama this week around the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
E.D. Moyer Lumber is your window expert. Anderson 400 series are the clad wood windows more contractors trust for their own homes. Contractors love them because they're easy to install, time-tested, and are the windows with fewer callbacks. Homeowners love their superior design with styles that bring their unique vision to life. Based on a 2022 Anderson brand survey of U.S. contractors, your Anderson expert is A.D. Moyer Lumber in Gilbertsville, Pottstown, Bethlehem, and Kutztown, and on the web at admoyer.com.
Attention December holiday shoppers. TurnersBillJeep.com is celebrating holiday deals all month long. Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Compasses, and Ram trucks as low as $269 per month at TurnersBillJeep.com. Example 2024 Jeep Compass. VIN number SD505785. 4-cylinder auto, power steering, power brakes, AC, MSRP 33840. CEL. Payments of $269 a month for 42 months with $45.99 to an inception. TOP 16166. 7,500 miles per year. Residual $18,950. $595 acquisition fee. Tier 1 credit through Stellantis Financial includes $4,000 in rebates. Price includes all costs except for licensing costs, registration fees, taxes, and $599 doc fee. Offer not valid with trade-in. Ends 1/2/25. So last year I had the bright idea to dig up part of my backyard to put in a new patio. Little did I know that underground electrical for most of my neighborhood ran through my backyard. One wrong hit of the shovel and bam, lights went out, my hair turned white, and now I can wirelessly charge my smartphone. You know, they say hindsight is 20/20, but 2/20? That's something completely different. Trust me. Call 811 before you dig. Know what's below and help us hit 50 and 5. 50% less damage to buried utilities in 5 years. For info, visit pa1call.org.
It's that time of year again. Hi, it's George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rule stores. If you're a pet parent like I am, you know that the holidays are just as important to our four-legged kids as they are to us. At the Dogs and Cats Rule stores, our goal is to make your holiday shopping easier. When it comes to getting the cutest Christmas-themed toys, collars, and leads, we have absolutely everything. That's Dogs and Cats Rule, now with 7 convenient locations. Shop small, shop local, shop family. Happy holidays from all of us at Dogs and Cats Rule.
This football season, get yourself a win by losing. Call NJ Diet today and you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. You'll shock family during holiday get-togethers, and more importantly, your doctor should finally be able to give you good news about your blood work. Not only that, but losing weight is linked to help boosting low T. Best of all, there are no shots or nasty side effects. Call today, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com.
I was just reading this article, and the author said we should only take cold showers all the time. I'm not sure why, because that's where I stopped reading. Me, I'm what some people like to call human. I like showers with some degree of hot water in the equation, especially this time of year. Well, Henderson Plumbing Services happens to be big fans of hot water and wants us all to have it. That's why right now Henderson is giving up to $400 off any water heater installation. Cold showers? Not on purpose. Schedule today at WMHenderson.com.
Hi, this is Howard Eskin, and you can get game day and holiday ready with Jack Daniels at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store. Pick up the original Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, Jack Fire, or Jack Honey 1.75 milliliter bottles, all for $3 off, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke, or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar. Now ready to drink in a can. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Especially 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and all the registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
This football season, get in the game at Acme. Buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoop In and Win sweepstakes. You could win 2025 Eagles season tickets or autographed Eagles merch and more. Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
There are lessons to be learned every day, and every day is an opportunity to find our purpose. It begins with a game plan, not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. Build your tomorrow at LincolnFinancial.com.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
This week at Acme, don't miss the football items of the week. It's party-sized potato chips for $3.99 each, or the digital offer for Keller's Butter Quarters for $3.49. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for a big one. The Eagles and the Steelers joining us right now. Dave Spadera. Dave, how you doing? I'm doing great, guys. Love seeing the crowd here. Maybe seeing a little too many Steelers fans. So I pointed that out.
Told you.
Eagles fans,
Eagles
what it means is Eagles fans have sold their tickets to Steelers fans. How dare you? How dare you do that?
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean,
Yeah,
come
there's
on.
not free tickets.
So the only way to shut them up is to win big.
Get off to a hot start.
Get off to
That'll
it.
shut
That's
yeah.
the whole thing, Elliot. Get off to a hot
Exactly,
start,
yeah.
man. Whatever they've been doing, like it's so frustrating that an offense that has been, for the most part, prolific after the first quarter starts so slowly. It is something I don't think I've ever seen in my 30 years with the Eagles.
Dude, me and you sit up in that press box every week, and Dave, you see us, these home games, and that first quarter is just the most miserable thing we've ever gone through.
And you know what? The unfortunate thing about it is,
I mean, from a frustrated standpoint, where you're like, okay, we see opportunities there, but we're not capitalizing on opportunities, and it's I don't know what it is. I'm sure the team wants to get off to a fast start, but they just do not get off to a fast start each week.
You have been in meetings where they put together the first 15.
Yep.
Well, what's happening? Why?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's crazy is it's not, and those are the most frustrating thing about that, Dave, is those are the plays that you've practiced all week, that you're anticipating,
that you're comfortable with.
Yes, those are supposed to be the
your
plays.
bread and butter plays.
Yes.
So I just wonder if today, look, we've seen early in games, Calcaterra gets a target, Jahan Dotson gets a target. Like early on, do you make sure that Saquon gets 2 or 3 touches?
I think you missed the name.
Make sure
Yeah. Because I mean, listen, I'm all for
AJ to get
I'm all for inclusivity. I'm all for all of that, but man, you gotta get AJ
If
involved.
Calcaterra gets the first target of the game,
Yeah.
AJ
see that,
might
and
storm out the
that's
building.
where where the problem lies, because you got to go where the money reside, man, and you got to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
So let me ask you this, Hugh. Let me ask you this. And I'm not saying I disagree with you on this with AJ, but how do we balance doing that versus going away from what makes us successful. Like, I don't believe we could as much as I love AJ as a player, we can't just cater the game plan.
Yeah, but why not?
See, that's not. See, I like
because I don't think that's what has made us successful the last 9
Well,
weeks.
they have won 9 in a row without doing that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Since we all chopping that bill a bit, but here's the thing, man. I don't feel like we have to change anything.
Yes.
I look at it like this: if I'm a quarterback, if you're a quarterback, and I have a $30 million receiver, and I'm calling a pass play, he's my first look every time.
Right.
Like there's nothing that you're gonna call that is not gonna be. He's gonna not be my first read.
Well,
he's the primary read.
He's the primary.
To Hugh's point, if they're calling, let's say, 30 passing plays a game, right, and some of those are scrambles, so they're not attempts. How many of those are they calling for AJ already?
I would say all of. I would say every play.
Over half of
Or
them.
you think he's the number one option on every pass?
I would think so.
Well,
What do you think so?
You got Devontae.
I know you have Devontae, but for the most part, because we've seen Jalen throw it to AJ in triple
double coverage, triple coverage. Yep.
We've seen that. So why all of a sudden we have a strong running game?
I don't
think you're having trouble getting it to him when you know you're getting man to man because they're putting somebody in the box.
Yeah, I don't think you change the game plan. You don't cater to AJ, but I could also say, like, anytime you throw to AJ, good things happen.
All the time.
And we have seen that. We have seen that for
That's
3
why
seasons.
Well, but the question is,
he is my primary target all the time.
The question is, though, do you call the AJ plays earlier today? Like,
well,
on the first-
well, the question is, Elliot. I mean, the whole thing is, how do you get off to a better start? What is happening that you are not starting well? One thing that's happening that early in the game is AJ's not getting touches on those first possessions.
That's true. That's true.
AJ Brown, of course, is our power player of the game, sponsored by IBEW Local Union 98.
Joe's like, okay, get them
in partnership with Nika Pelndale Jersey, the Pride of Power Progress in
Look
Philadelphia.
at some of these parlays.
Well, okay.
So talking about it.
So AJ's gonna have a big day today.
He has a big day every day.
Well, when they get him the ball, sure, yes.
If there is something to just do it on the first play, I mean, like
I don't think that. I don't think you got to take what the defense is giving you, and you go for matchups, and it's always going to be a good
and
matchup.
the tough thing is the Steelers know this. Like
Yeah.
they're well aware.
And they take the ball away a lot,
but
so
the
you can't
Steelers,
force it.
but the Steelers are sitting back there going, okay, we got to worry about Saquon Barkley, we got to worry about AJ Brown, we got to worry about Devontae Smith, we got to worry about Jalen Hurts running the football. I don't think the Steelers are going to roll all their coverage over to AJ Brown. If that's the case, run Saquon Barkley early in the game. I'm fine with that too. Just get some early first downs. Get something going where you can build now as we start to peak for the playoffs. Something that in the playoffs you can't play 2.5 quarters of offense. You've got to be good from the start of the game.
Quickly, Dave, while we have you, I know it's not as buzzworthy as AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, but it could be important as we go through the stretch. Where do you think the confidence level is with Jake Elliott? I thought it was notable last week. It got brushed under the rug as the bigger things, but they didn't attempt a 54-yard field goal to go up 9. It would have won. It would have ended the game, right? They punted and they pinned him, and it worked. But if Jake Elliott's kicking better, I think and I know the win was part of it.
I actually thought that was the right call.
I did too. I thought Nick made the right call. But if Jake was kicking better this year, perhaps he lets him try it. Where do you think they're at confidence level with Elliott?
I think they're at a high level of confidence with Jake, but they're also aware that the facts are the facts. He's 0 for 5 from 50+, and Jake's got to be better. And we hope here, last 4 games of the regular season, that Jake corrects his stroke. It is so important. I mean, you got to have that good stroke, boys. And his stroke been on.
Now you want to pause.
Right. So, but
speaking of Elliott,
but there's also the reality that you are not going to turn to another kicker,
right,
with 4 games left going into the playoffs. Somebody off the streets who you're going to live with Jake, and Jake's going to correct it, and that's the confidence that you have. Again, Jake, and he spoke to reporters this week. He said he had a really good week of solid contact, that he doesn't follow his stats. But I look up and I see wind on those flags, and it makes me wonder what it's going to be like.
It was wind last week.
Well, and the tough thing is the Steelers have arguably the best kicker in the league. I think he's 11 of 13 from 50 yards and beyond this year. So,
and he's on pace to break the record for most field goals in a season. They've won 2 games on only field goals.
So in a game where field goals could be a huge deal, like the Steelers do go into this with the kicking advantage.
It's also a bigger picture, though, guys. Elliot, right? You're looking at, 3 of the next 3 games after this are outdoor games. Yep. In the playoffs, you got the dome at Ford Field, but otherwise everything is outdoors, except for Minnesota, and then the playoffs are indoors. So I think we all have confidence that Jake is going to get it going and become that consistent game-winning kicker that we've known since 2017.
There's nothing worse.
Choice, yeah.
Let me tell you, there's nothing worse than worrying about whether or not your kicker is reliable.
Of course.
That is the worst feeling.
Does it impact the players?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think
guess you guys
does.
had a good kicker. So.
It's the same thing from the reverse effect. When you got a kicker, you know that you feel like it's automatic. And that's how we felt with Akers.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't make them all, but we felt he was going to make them
And
all.
Elliott was there just a year
Yes.
ago. We felt like we had that with him, but it hasn't been that way. All right,
And,
Dave.
but one thing, Jake's playoff numbers are out of this world. And again, big picture here, it's really important to keep in context.
Dave, we appreciate it. All right, coming up, we'll
Sports.
continue here. Ricky Waters will join us next hour. Howard Eskin, along with Boo Howard, of course. Lot to do. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Homeowners, improve your family's comfort with a Bradford white water heater and enjoy all the hot water your household needs all day, every day. With Bradford White, you get more than just a water heater. You get our commitment to quality and reliability that you can trust. How you heat your water matters, so don't compromise when it comes to your home or your hot water. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best because your home deserves it. Visit BradfordWhite.com to learn more and find an installation pro near you.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Gerhardt's Appliances has what you need to be tailgate ready this season for the birds. Whether it's the in-home appliances needed to prepare your famous Kelly green pepper casserole before pregame, or the barbecue grills you'll need to fire up the last of your sausage links in the parking lot before kickoff, Gerhardt's has you covered with the best game day deals on appliances. Gerhardt's Appliances, helping Philly sports fans get the season cooking since 1945. Visit Gerhardt'sAppliance.com.
Big news, Cherry Hill. The Hester Chevrolet family is expanding with our new location, Hester Chevy of Cherry Hill, formerly Mall Chevrolet. For over 40 years, the Hester Automotive family has been part of the Cherry Hill community. With over 600 vehicles available, Hester Chevy of Cherry Hill now offers one of the largest inventories of Chevy vehicles in the tri-state area. See why 2 Hester Chevy locations are even better than 1. Come visit Hester Chevy at the mall or always online at HesterChevyCH.com.
Your way or no way at Hester Chevrolet.
Hey, Jenna Cameron here. The holiday season, it's in full swing, and the showcases at Family and Company Jewelers are stocked and ready to go. Do yourself a favor and get to their showroom on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey. If you're planning to pop the question this year, guys, get to Family and Company Jewelers. How about you stuff her stocking with a diamond engagement ring? Or if you just want a little extra action under the mistletoe, you can't go wrong with a pair of diamond stud earrings. Check off your whole list with one stop to Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's holiday diamond destination.
There's a chill in the air. You flip on the heat and nothing. Don't raise the white flag. Call the White Dove. For as little as $13 a month, Oliver will keep your home's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems in check year-round. Plus, your membership comes with annual inspections, exclusive discounts, and priority emergency service. Oliver is proud to be recognized as a winner of the Brotherly Shove Business Spotlight. From all of us at Oliver, thank you. Promotional support by First Trust Bank.
It's a long season, but one thing is sure, Birds football is sure to make your heart skip a beat. But that flutter you feel in your chest could also be something else, like AFib, atrial fibrillation, a serious heart condition that needs expert care from an all-pro team like Deborah Heart and Lung Center. One thing is certain, all season long, Team Green is sure to make your heart flutter, maybe even skip a beat now and then. Just remember, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org. Go Birds.
Eagles fans, Merrill Reese here to talk about my friends at NovaCare Rehabilitation. Are you dealing with ongoing aches and pains? The physical therapist at NovaCare will help keep you active and doing the things you love. They have more than 200 convenient locations throughout the Delaware Valley and South Jersey. Visit NovaCare.com to schedule an appointment today. NovaCare is the official physical therapy provider to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles trust NovaCare, so can you. Experience the power of physical therapy.
Who's the man in a white plumbing van?
Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's the dude who clears your drain of food?
Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's the guy to keep your basement dry?
He's the Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's your friend for a pipe on the man?
Roto-Rooter Man.
If plumbing, drain, or water cleanup are the plan, better call your Roto-Rooter man. Roto-Rooter, we put water where it should be.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's a name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Coming up, we'll have Howard Eskin, Merrill, Reese, Ricky Waters, our legend of the week here on the Pregame Show, and everyone's favorite segment.
For who, for what?
3 keys with ESP as well coming up. All right, quickly, guys.
Hit him with that. No, do not hit him with that.
No, we probably shouldn't.
Good question.
Before we get to our fan with a, we got a fan.
Oh my God!
Howard,
You don't see Howard that You see the king?
That's football. It's football season now.
The YouTube audience is getting a glimpse of this.
Oh my God! Ooh, that man got that nice ass coat on.
A little more expensive than Hughes' coat. All right, before we
a lot more expensive.
Before we get to our fan here who's going to lead us in an Eagles chant out of this hour, quickly, how big of a deal is the Jake Elliott thing? I mean, Dave said they have confidence. I'm worried about it. I mean, last week
I'm trying not to worry.
That
about
wasn't a 60-yarder.
Yes.
Sirianni punted and
I
gave
agree.
the ball back, and I thought
agree.
I agree with you. Like, he was right, but it told the story of what he thinks about
does.
Elliott.
No, listen, you're absolutely right. And as much as we all love Jake Elliott, I think I don't want to say I'm speaking for the entire fan base, but here's where I'm coming from. I'm just hoping it gets corrected. I'm trying not to worry. I'm trying not to worry about his kicking because it hasn't cost us a game yet.
Right.
But it's not that I don't notice it. Like, we all notice that he has struggled, particularly outside of 50 yards, which, quite frankly, that is a huge deal. Because it's one thing if you're in that 30 to 40-plus yard range. You can go for it on fourth down, depending on what the down and distance is. But you get in situations in games where you're in 50-plus yard territory, like you're literally taking points off the board or the opportunity to put points on the board. And Nick's decision late in that game said everything. That in this moment, we don't have the confidence right now. And like I said, I felt the same way. But overall, I still believe in Jake Elliott. I still believe in Jake Elliott overall. I still believe in him, and I'm hoping that he gets this fixed.
Ellie, where you at?
Yeah, they got no choice. Like, you're not going to bring anybody else in. To Ike's point, it's almost like you just got to ignore it and hope he starts making the kicks because you can't bring somebody new in.
Head in the sand.
I will say, if you want to look at the 0 for 5 from 50, one of those was blocked, one was 60, and one was 57. For what it's worth, like, it's not like he's attempted 10 of them between 50 and 55, and he's missed a bunch of them. So I still have confidence in him, but I do think, like Nick did last week, the way it does impact the team is you have to start managing the game just a little bit differently. And I thought last week he made the right decision to punt that ball.
And I loved what Nick said during the week. He talked about, as it pertains to that, about having a feel for the game, knowing whether or not how your team is playing. And while the numbers may say one thing, he as a coach needs to take all of this into consideration when he's making those type of decisions on fourth down, whether to trust the kicker or go for it. So I love his messaging earlier this week that the feel for the game is certainly important.
No question. All right, before this hour ends, Howard next. We got our guy Tom up here. Tom, you ready to lead us in Eagles chant?
Let's go!
Let's go!
He doesn't even need
E-I-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
The Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Last week, the Eagles got a wake-up call in a close win.
And it's back down. Eagles win. Slay knocks it down.
Today, they're toughness will be tested again.
I've submitted myself to whatever it takes to win.
As they welcome their cross-state rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today's game is sponsored in part by PNC Bank, PBQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems, Verizon, NovaCare Rehabilitation, your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, Deborah Heart and Lung Center, Acme, Piazza Auto Group, and IBEW Local Union 98. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
To the Verizon Pregame Show, the Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. And we have the big one today. The 11-2 Eagles, winners of 9 in a row. The 10-3 Steelers. And joining us up here right now, we got a loaded segment. Later in the segment, Merrill Reese. But right now, on the stage with us, alongside Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Elliott Shore, Park Show, is Howard Eskin. Howard. How are we doing today?
I'm good. A little cold, but I'm good.
Oh, how the hell are you?
You cannot
cold?
with
How
that
the hell are
Not
you
with
cold?
that jacket on, brother.
My hands and my face. No, my body is fine. But no, I'm just, hey, listen, you got to dress for the weather.
Oh, you are dressed for the weather.
That's
today,
a nice
brother.
coat.
Yeah.
That is a real.
That's how you know it's
Where can I get one of those from?
Well, you know what? You're not
You about
at
to say
that
what you about to
level.
say. See, I knew
You're
you
not at that level to be able to wear that. It's mink and chinchilla collar.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not at that level, man. I'm not.
All right, Howard.
Don't even try it.
Here's the question: will the Eagles' passing game be at the level it needs to be today? Howard, where are you at right now? It's been a week of drama, and you were part of it on Monday with Brandon Graham.
It's your fault.
You let him right there. No, but Brandon Graham shed light on what he felt. AJ talked about it. Jalen talked about it. Howard, what's your feeling right now on this pass game and where it needs to get to?
I think what has happened this week has really galvanized this team. I think they all understand everybody's talked to the people that they've had to talk to. The coaches talked to them. The players have talked to each other. I think he will definitely be better, and I think he's going to have to be because Pittsburgh is a good defensive team, and they're smart enough to try to stop the run and force Jalen Hurts to pass. So I think it's going to be okay. I really like the Eagles this week.
When you say he's going to be better, you talking about Jalen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I know you're talking about Jalen or AJ.
No, AJ's, he's fine.
Yeah.
And he was laughing about it on Wednesday. He said he wanted to put it out there, and he did.
He did.
It's just,
he didn't backtrack on what he said. Like,
nobody. That's the thing. Nobody backtracked on nothing.
Yeah, it's just
Stood on business.
I saw before the game that Tom Brady's doing this game.
Oh, I didn't know Tom Brady's doing this game.
America's game of the week.
The GOAT's in the building.
Yeah, that's all right. And so I saw Brandon and he talking. I didn't want to get too close.
Michigan brothers. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they're talking. But
Hugging
I don't
out.
know if Brandon's finding out better ways to cheat or he's trying to find out about what happened here this week.
Tom's trying to find out exactly what Brandon meant.
He wants details of the drama.
Yes, exactly.
We'll see what Tom says on the broadcast today after talking to us.
Brandon told me.
Now we know where he's getting it
Yeah,
from.
he was talking to everybody else. Might as well talk to Tom Brady too.
Yeah, well, whatever. But it's just I think it's going to be one of the best Eagles games of the season.
Wow.
I
Their
believe
performance or the game itself, you're saying?
that.
They're going to come out here.
Yes.
Are we winning?
Their performance. Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be a physical
No
confrontation.
question.
Very confident from Howard today.
If the Steelers, as they say in Pittsburgh, score more than 20 points, I would be shocked. I would be shocked.
I got him at 16.
How
so
many
I'm
are
with
we
you there.
getting to, Howard?
I'm with you there.
The Eagles will be over 20 points without any question. 24 to 27. That's what I look for the Eagles. I think Russell Wilson, he is a fraud, but
is Sierra here?
Who cares?
Well, we care.
I wouldn't mind.
Knock yourself
If you
out.
want to be insider of the year, Howard, you got to know stuff like
Who
that.
cares? But I think he throws at least one interception. Turnovers obviously are important.
Guantanamo Bay.
When Yanamo gets his first one.
Yeah, maybe.
like it. I like it.
Maybe. It would be nice. They're just the Eagles are a better team than the Steelers, and I think they will play really, really well. And I would really be surprised if the Steelers score 20 or more points. I would be surprised, and I know the Eagles are going to do better than that. So I really do like the Eagles this game with all the drama, and the extended drama this week.
They respond well to drama, though, too.
Yeah, they do.
They have this year. Yeah. Last year. So
they do.
Last year, they did not.
That's a reflection of the head coach.
Yep.
And people don't want to get a guy credit. People are always asking, what does he do, and this and that and the other. Well, guess what? This is the time where you need the head coach to be able to settle things down and get everybody focused on the right things. And they had a rough start to the season. He was able to do it. Now we're back, and then they went on a 9-game winning streak. We got a little dust up this week. I love the Nick Sirianni's messaging this week. I thought he handled all the questions appropriately. I thought he was aces this week. I really did. I thought he handled everything
considering
perfectly
where
this week.
he's come from, because obviously at the beginning of his career, no one thought he was great at the podium.
I don't care about the beginning of his
Well,
career.
no, I'm just saying he was very good this week with his messaging
was
at
awesome
the
this
podium
week.
on WIP
Yeah.
when he called, and I thought he was good. Yeah.
I think he's one of the best coaches. I'm not saying he's the best coaches in the NFL for situations like this.
I agree.
And the way he relates and deals and explains things to his
Now,
players.
I will just say one counter, though. Last
Sure you
year, last year they went through something a little similar. AJ had his press conference. He didn't talk for a few weeks. He did an awesome job. We're all like, here they go. And then they lost. So I'm just curious from your perspective. Why do you think this year won't be last year?
Because last year's last year and they have better players.
So it's
they
as
have better
simple as that?
players.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just curious from your perspective.
Can I jump in? I think they got better leadership. I do. And there's no knock against the guys that were here last year. They're at different places in their careers, things they want. And I'm not talking about the Kelseys and the Fletcher Coxes. But when you think about guys like a Hassan Reddick or what have you, that was in the locker room as well, that may not have brought the right necessarily energy to the locker room. I like the energy in the locker room this year. I think the leadership is solid. I think having Saquon in this locker room certainly helps out big time. And I think for what they went through last year, they're better off in knowing how to handle it. They don't want to go through that. They don't want to repeat of what they did last year. So it's up to the veterans to learn from their mistakes last year. And one of the first examples, to me, was AJ speaking on Wednesday.
Well, and right away on Wednesday.
Yes,
too.
that's what I mean.
The second the locker room
Wednesday,
opened, he was right there. He easily
his
could have carried this
demeanor,
thing. Yep.
his demeanor, everything else, I thought was the right energy for what they need to sort of move past this. And to me, I mean, you and Howard are down there every day. It seems like the locker room has moved past this, at least from the outside.
Well, and I also
it
say,
seemed like they moved past.
Not only did AJ talk on Wednesday, he was in the locker room, it felt like, almost every minute that was open to the media, talking to his teammates, joking around. I thought he was very present this week. And maybe that was an intentional thing. He's normally in the locker room anyway.
Intentional.
But if it was intentional, I do think it was good for his teammates to see him in a good mood, joking around, all those things. So I thought it was a pretty loose locker room this week.
At that point, he's already talked to everybody he had to talk to, and they all talk to people. And he normally doesn't speak on Wednesday.
No, he never does.
So, and it was a good sign. He just wanted to get it out of the way and move past it. But WIP couldn't move past it, but he wanted to move past it.
You know we couldn't. Howard, do they throw the ball to him more today?
I think they throw within the concept of the way they've laid out the game. And it's not the coaches. If they try to stop Saquon Barkley, obviously there's going to be extra people at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get single coverage a lot. As soon as Jalen sees that, let your receiver make a play. Nobody's going to undercut. Those receivers are not going to let the defender undercut them to the ball. So undercut the route. So you got to trust. And, and I think all that talk this week, trust him, make the play and trust him. And I think he will. And will he get more passes? He still leads the league in yards per catch for a receiver, which, you think about. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow.
It's close to 18 a catch.
I mean, let's be honest.
Closer to 17.4 to be exact.
This
I like to be exact.
This boils down to
get him.
If we're being honest, this boils down to Jalen.
Yes, of course.
This boils down to Jalen throw the football when the guy is open.
They can call the play. Jalen's got to make the read and make the
gotta let the ball go.
Yes.
Let the ball go.
All right. AJ legitimately could have had 3 touchdowns last week. Like, he was wide open for 2.
That's
and then
why
that
he
early
was
play,
probably
right.
upset.
Of course that's why.
That would make anybody upset, I would think.
All right, let's get some keys here. Joining us from the booth, we rarely get this, Howard and Merrill Reese. You hear him on the broadcast.
Merrill.
Merrill's with us right now in this segment. Merrill, how you doing today? Merrill?
Awesome.
I feel your pain on the sideline sometimes.
Here
Merrill.
I am. Here I am. Okay.
I hear him.
You ready for my keys?
Yes, of course we are, Merrill.
Okay. Shoot that mink that is in your booth. The second key. This is a must. Protect the football. The Steelers are an uncanny +17 in turnover differential. That's called grand larceny.
Yeah, but Merrill, let me just tell you this. Since week 8, the Eagles lead the league in plus-minus in turnovers.
Something's got to give, Howard.
Okay, just passing that along.
All right. Number 2, set your alarm clock early. Come out on fire. Surviving a slow start is really tough against this team.
Well, and slow starts is all the Eagles have done, unfortunately. First quarters, they haven't done much offensively. Maybe that changed. Or how about number 3, Merrill?
Number 3, bring the heat on Russell Wilson. He's 6-0 against the Eagles, all as a Seahawk. But he's never faced Vic Fangio's Eagles brigade. Show him you mean business from the first snap.
I like that. Yeah, we got to end the Russell Wilson thing. We can't have his whole career go by.
We've been ending a lot of streaks this year.
Yes.
We got to end the Russell Wilson streak.
And this might be the last one. I mean, maybe there's one more. I don't know. But, end it now. Merrill, we appreciate you hopping on as always, and have a great broadcast, all right?
Okay, and watch out for the mink.
Shoot it.
Howard, are they gonna fix this thing in the first quarter? Ever?
Yeah. Well, ever is a long time.
We're over the season's got 4 games left.
Ever is a long time. I say yes.
Okay. Holding you to this.
You know what I would do today? If they win the coin flip, take
the ball.
the ball.
Yeah, let's try something different.
Yeah,
take the ball.
Take the ball. But they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that.
But I think if you stop Pittsburgh, a 3 and out, if they take the ball first, the first drive, I think, will be a good drive today. I think will be.
And they've had some good drives. They're just not finishing them.
No.
Like, it's not like they're not. They're able to move the ball. It's just they've done some field goals or penalties have hurt them in drives.
Yep.
So yeah, I think they've been a little better in the first quarter than maybe they're given credit for. But yes, it's something.
They haven't been.
Well,
they scored 17 points.
They moved the ball. They moved the ball though. It's not like they're going 3 and out every drive. It's just problems at the end of the drive that's hurting.
There,
true.
Elliot, there have been I forget the exact number. It's close to 400 teams that have had winning records or playoff teams in this century. Okay? They are dead last in first quarter points of those close to 400 teams.
I didn't say they were doing good scoring. I said they
Well,
were
that's
good.
the whole point of
I said they were
offense.
doing good moving the ball. Like they just need to finish the drive.
Dead ass. They'll be better today.
Tell me where they're at in yards among those 400.
I don't care.
They'll be better. They'll be better.
Well, they better be, Howard. All right.
Can't be worse if they're in the 400s.
Howard, Eskin, give us a prediction.
27
Are you giving predictions today?
to 16.
Ooh, 11-point victory. And Saquon Barkley over under 100 yards rushing.
I don't want to. I refuse to
come
answer that.
on, Howard.
You think they're going to win by 11 and he's not going
If
to have
it
over
gets
100 yards?
gets to 100, it'll be because they have the lead and he's running the ball late. in the
You're
game.
trying to break a record, Howard.
Is he getting there?
No. You're trying to win a championship. I'm so sick and tired of you guys worrying about records and MVPs.
Well, the
and
record
all that.
matters. It hasn't been
No.
broken for 40 years.
I don't care.
These people want to break the record.
They
You guys
won
wanna
one
break the record?
Super Bowl.
Break the record.
I won a Super Bowl.
And they've set 0 records. So there you go.
I won a Super Bowl.
All
Yeah,
right.
they do
dope.
too, but you can also get the record.
Don't
can.
concentrate on that.
That's a
Don't.
very
It's
good point.
distraction. It's a distraction.
Oh,
No,
stop.
it's not a
He's the
distraction.
best player on the team.
Okay. When they. Okay. I'm not even going to say anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
Done. See you later. All right. Coming up on the other side, we will be joined by Ricky Waters. Elliot's 3 keys as well on the show before our predictions. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Hi, this is Joe Mederchik, PNC Bank Regional President. Sticking to the fundamentals, not wavering from the game plan, is a great philosophy for football and banking. And for nearly 160 years, our dedicated local PNC teams are in formation to help fans receive sound and reliable personalized financial advice to get them across the goal line. Because as we see it, a win for them is a win for the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Hey, Eagles fans, this is Eagles All-Pro wide receiver Mike Quick. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Philly's got you. Trade in any phone for one of their top brands in any condition. Guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at any Philly area Verizon store.
Know what's below, because even minor excavation projects like installing a mailbox, building a patio, or putting up a fence can do major damage. Contact 811 before you dig, or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
'Tis the season to get a great deal at Toyotathon. Hurry in to your local Toyota dealer and give yourself the gift of great value on a new Toyota. Unwrap these deals before they're gone. Visit Toyota.com for more information. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, this is Howard Eskin, and you can get game day and holiday ready with Jack Daniels at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store. Pick up the original Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, Jack Fire, or Jack Honey 1.75 milliliter bottles, all for $3 off, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke, or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar. Now ready to drink in a can. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Especially 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and all the distillery registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Operating engineers are the men and women that move mountains. And the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, ELEC, puts them to work. They create opportunities for the men, women, and union signatory contractors of Local 825, repaving our roads, keeping our homes bright and warm, and even building our favorite team stadium. We understand infrastructure. That's why ELEC and Local 825 are ready to get to work.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Talking to Donovan McNabb tomorrow, 4 o'clock on the afternoon show with Ike, Spike, and Fritz.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon alongside Ike Reese, Elliott Shore Parks, Hugh Douglas. I'm Joe Gillian. Joining us right now, give this guy a big round of applause here. Former Philadelphia Eagles running back. He is our legend of the game. Ricky Waters with us right now. Ricky, how you doing?
Man, I am doing great. What's up, Eagles fans out there? Man, it's a lot of love out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A lot of love in the house.
You're one of the favorites, man. Listen, and when you talk about, right, Saquon, we've been all about Saquon this year and what he's doing as a running back. Dude, you're one of the last few running backs that in that time where they had
in that running back era.
Yes, that running back era where they had franchise running
Yeah.
backs. Yes, where they didn't look down on running backs. So what has been your thoughts on watching Saquon and not only just Saquon, but like Derrick Henry this year.
Yeah.
It seems like the running back position
It's coming back.
sort of fought back this year.
Coming back,
Yeah.
baby. The running back, man, they need to understand that, man. Running backs do a lot. First of all, we block a lot, and that's what people don't give you credit for a lot of time. But when you see the quarterback throwing the ball like that on the backside, I'm pretty much blocking somebody who's probably bigger than me. But I can't let him hit my man when he throws the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also, if they hand it or they fake it to me, you know, and then the camera goes with the quarterback, he's throwing the ball, whatever. You don't see me getting beat up over there. Like everybody, like they take it because then they can tackle me and they can kind of give me a little
play
something.
play action.
Yeah.
They can give me a little elbow grease and stuff, a little knees as they getting up off me.
In 96, you carried the ball 353 times, which was the
Yeah.
most in the league that year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk this year about how much Saquon should touch the ball. I'm curious, as a running back, like that year, did you think about how many carries you were getting? Is it something you thought of, or it was just as much as you want to give me the ball, let's keep going?
As much as you want to give me the ball, I want to go. I'm ready to go. And I'm sure he feels that same way, man. Just watching the way he's electric, man. And the thing that I really love is watching them in the weight room. You know, when they show him in the weight room,
Yeah.
and they show this man. I mean, the bar is bending. I mean, first of all, we got a quarterback who's doing that, right? With the
squat
bar,
rack,
they're
yeah.
squatting
Squat rack,
with the
yes.
bar bending like that. You only normally see that with linemen and defensive linemen, guys like you. You know, you don't see the.
Yeah, I wasn't lifting like that.
You ain't see much doing
That's something
that.
yeah, that's something different.
And it's
For
real crazy what Saquon's doing because he was just sitting there like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, man, how many is he going to do? Man, so it's pretty amazing what he's doing. I love it. I love watching it.
So, Ricky, you could be our next back here. We've been doing this thing on the station, Backs for Barkley. We're bringing all these running backs on, and you happen to be here with us today to make the case why you should be the MVP. When you played, Ricky, running backs won the MVP. You know, you played with Barry Sanders era, Marshall Faulk. Those guys won MVPs.
Right.
It's been a long time. It's been over a decade now. Do you think Saquon should be the league MVP?
What do you guys think?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I definitely think he should be the MVP. Let's go. Let's go. MVP. See? MVP. They know what it is.
So let me ask you this, Rick. Do you believe, like, I know things, let me say history repeats itself, right? So we talk about the franchise running back and, you know, where we grew up in the 80s and the 90s where teams would build around sort of the running back. But now it's more of a passing game, quarterbacks.
And I get that.
Do you believe, though, like the running back position could still be a position that you could sort of build around and build a winning team around? In other words, can we get back to that era of having a franchise running back sort of be the focal point of a championship team? like the Emmitt Smith days and things of that nature.
Right. Yeah, I think so. And, you know, I'm biased. I
Sure.
love the running back position, obviously, and I love watching those guys play. But I understand the quarterback thing, obviously, and they're protecting them more, all that kind of stuff. And you never know with the running back, a guy can get hurt. So I'm sure that they have to weigh all that when they're budgeting for these, you know, making these big payments to these players out there. So I understand that. But at the same time, if he could get back to that just a little bit, I understand the quarterback. I know all that. I'm not going to even say it's going to go backwards to the running back, but can it go back a little bit? I think we just did.
And you were a player that has Hall of Fame numbers. You had Hall of Fame numbers over a decade playing. Running backs don't typically play that long, right? But talk about being able to be still successful late in your career, because you had some good years out in Seattle after you left here, after you won a championship with San Francisco. You were still one of the better backs in the league out there with the Seattle Seahawks.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's hard work, dedication. I mean, I had to get my rest. And the older you get, the more you have to pay attention to all that stuff. So I had to really start paying attention to making sure I stretch in the morning, stretch at night, stretch before I work out, stretch after I work out. Stretching is one of the things that people forget about, you know, certain things, especially their legs and all that. You have to take care of yourself. I used to ice. You know how you have to take them ice baths, man. Woo! I don't know if you really want to do that, but
I hated the ice tub. Well, I hated ice. But
Up to
running
your
backs have to live in that ice tub.
Yeah, to live in the ice tub.
Yeah.
And we talking about hurt. We talking about pain too.
Ricky Waters with us here, our legend of the week. Ricky, what was your favorite memory here? You're playing 3 years, and you were very productive. I mean, almost 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns. I believe you played every game. Speaking of staying healthy, you played every game. What was your favorite memory here as an Eagle?
Man, it was the fans. It was my teammates once because it didn't get started off too good. The first few games we didn't do that as good as I thought we would, but we came together as a team. And when I felt like I won my teammates over, I won the coaches over, and then I won the fans over. I felt like after that was the biggest thing for me. And I felt like I felt like Rocky, you know what I mean? When Rocky had to go in the snow and everything, when he was, he had to take it back. I said, dun, 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 dun. I would hear that music. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, I'm ready to go, and I promise you, we're gonna win if I'm here.
What do you remember most about the fans here in Philadelphia?
Man, the fact that they so passionate, number one, but number two, they love to feed you, and I love that. I love to eat, so I appreciate that. I never went hungry here, man. People used to always be like, "Yo, come through. I'll feed you. I'll
certain
take care of
restaurants
you."
or whatever.
Man, I love that, and it was always love, no matter what. And everywhere I went, it was always love. And everywhere around the world where I go, I see Eagles fans. What's up?
So, Ricky, there's a lot of drama here this week, which you're probably not surprised about.
Tony Williams out
in Philadelphia. Ricky, you played on teams with some great players. What is it like in a locker room where you want the ball, right? And you're playing with great wide receivers, and they want the ball? Because that's what's kind of going on here right now. Eagles won last week. A.J. Brown not happy with the passing game after. What's it like being on a team where you got a lot of mouths to feed?
And to tell the truth, I feel them because they're great players as well. And I would like to see them get involved a little more. I think it will make them a better team if they got them involved. But, that running back in me wants Saquon to keep doing what he's doing in the bust that record.
All right, let's talk about that. So last game of so Saquon needs 483 yards. We got 4 games to go. He's on the pace to do it. But there's been a lot of conversation around here, Ricky, that last week of the season, let's say the Eagles are locked in. They know they're going to be the 2 seed.
Right.
So there's nothing technically standings-wise to play for.
Right.
Do you think he should play? Should they go for it? Should they play the starting offensive line? Should they play Saquon that last game? What do you think?
Who am I? Am I a fan or am I GM?
You're
about
the
GM. No, you're Ricky. You're the
running
back.
You're
the running back. What do you want to do?
Because Ricky would want him to bust that record.
There we go, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we're all feeling. We all feel the same way, bro. Don't worry. We all and quite frankly, if it were you that was going for the record, we would feel the same way.
Right.
I was saying earlier that as an Eagles fan, to have the opportunity to have that record, I mean, that's a great thing for Eagles fans, right? Like
no doubt.
Saquon to have that in the record books.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes there's a special moments happen in sports.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay for the athletes to embrace those moments and shoot for it.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
What would be more of a disservice to the game of football and all the competitors. You get to that final game with, let's say, 80 yards to go, and you don't even try to break the record.
You got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
You at least give him a chance.
Yeah, you got to at least give him a chance to go for the record, man. So that's kind of where I'm at on that thing. So I speak from a fan's perspective too. So I'm like, yeah, I want the guys to go out there and break the record. I think Saquon has had an awesome year, man.
Awesome, man.
Awesome year. So your connection, Eagles. How do you feel like the Eagles have sort of played this year? What do you see them at in the landscape of all the teams in the league?
I mean, I'm biased. Everybody know that. But at the same time, I feel like they're the most complete team. The defense is there. Like we already said, we just talked about the wide receivers. We already know about the running back. The quarterback is off the charts as well. The offensive line, I just think they got everything they need to win. Definitely. And we know about the fans, and we know you're going to be there, right? We know you're going to hold them down, right? That's for sure.
There's no doubt about that. Ricky, listen, we appreciate you being here today. We know you're busy. They're shuttling you all over the place. But thank you for making a few minutes for us, man.
I love it, man.
Welcome
Appreciate
back,
the
brother.
love.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the love. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Give him a round of applause there.
Ricky Waters.
Ricky
Yes,
Waters. We appreciate him being part of this here. All right, coming up, we will get Elliot's 3 keys to the victory today. We'll talk about that next.
3 of them things.
3 keys from Elliot's Robux. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Happy holidays. Welcome to the Nissan year-end sales event. Are you interested in
a test drive? Absolutely.
Great. Well, there's the new V6 powered Frontier. Oh, the Rogue with an available 12.3-inch touchscreen.
All right.
Oh, and the all-new Kicks, which has intelligent all-wheel drive.
Nice.
So what do you think? Finished with all your holiday shopping?
About to be. Toss me the keys. Let's go.
Hurry in for the best deals of the year, only at the Nissan year-end sales event. Now get a low $239 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Available feature, intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Well-qualified lessees, 2024 Rogue S all-wheel drive, $46.89 initial payment excludes tax, title, and license. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. Ends 1/6/25.
PDQ POS is the MVP in point-of-sale solutions. Easy to use with the best support in the industry, and it doesn't take a bite out of your sales with costly fees. It's the choice of all concept food service businesses across the country. PDQ POS is real-time analytics with insights to elevate your team and your play calling. PDQ POS has been rated the #1 point of sale by restaurant owners for more than 35 years, so don't wait. Make the switch to PDQ POS today. Visit pdqpos.com.
Who's the man in a white plumbing van?
Roto-Rooter man.
Who's the dude who clears your drain of food?
Roto-Rooter man.
Who's the guy to keep your basement dry?
He's the Roto-Rooter man.
Who's your friend for a pipe on the man?
Roto-Rooter man.
If plumbing, drain, or water cleanup are the plan, better call your Roto-Rooter man. Roto-Rooter, we put water where it should be.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
It's Merrill Reese. Give the gift of results this holiday season at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Buy a spa package and get a free massage or facial gift card. Anyone will enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. Visit any one of their 60 Philadelphia area Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or search for the location nearest you to view their exclusive online offers. Restrictions apply. See spa for more details.
I'm Mark Lynch, Business Manager of IBEW Local Union 98. We are proud to connect with the best NECA Pendel Jersey chapter. Together, NECA and Local 98 do the work that powers our great city. Local 98's 5,500 highly trained members approach every job with integrity and excellence. Our clients can count on superior craftsmanship completed utilizing the latest methods, and we're always ensuring safety on the job. If you want the best for your next project, use the top-notch professionals of IBEW Local Union 98.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Bird Gang Spirits is made for the true Philly fans. The pre-gamers, tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. Now you can raise a glass to number 25 himself, Eagles legend LaShawn Shady McCoy, with their new very limited edition Bird Gang Shady Bourbon Whiskey. Crafted to honor Shady's induction into the Eagles Hall of Fame, this special release is the spirit of Philly pride in every pour. Pre-order now to reserve a bottle or two of LaShawn Shady McCoy's Bird Gang Kentucky Bourbon at BOTLD.com. Please drink responsibly.
Hear Nick Sirianni's presser after the game on 94 WIP. This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Elliott Stewart Parks, Joe Giglio with your predictions coming up.
Predictions
in just a little bit.
Prediction pain.
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of that today. There's no question.
Especially if they lose.
Yeah, pain.
Yeah, well, let's hope we don't get that kind of thing. All right, let's get to the keys to the game. Brought to you by United Tire. For the best tire prices anywhere, don't drive alone. Drive United.
3 keys with ESP.
Yeah, so number one here, we haven't talked about it yet, but no George Pickens today for the Steelers, which means all the other receivers the Steelers have are terrible. You look at some of these names: Calvin Austin, Scotty Miller, Mike Williams only been there for a minute.
Who's
Van Jefferson.
Yeah, Van.
The guy you got to stop, Pat Freiermuth, a pretty good tight end. His numbers aren't crazy, but if you take him away, the Steelers are 29th in the league in yards per rush. They can't run the ball. They can't throw it without George Pickens. Take away the tight end, and I think this Eagles defense could really dominate the Steelers offense today.
Yeah, today feels like a day where the Steelers are going to try to run it because, like you're saying, Elliot, they don't have much in the passing game.
Right.
It feels like the kind of day where at 7:30 tonight, Kobe Dean and Zach Vaughn have like 25 combined tackles. It feels like that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. If they play well, I don't think the Steelers are going to move the ball much.
Yeah, and look, Najee Harris obviously had a good start to his career, but he's not that great of a running back anymore. Without George Pickens, I mean, Howard said it, there's no reason to give up more than 20 points to the Steelers offense.
What do we think of the challenge that Russ presents? I mean, 5 years ago, we were always scared of Russ, right? He was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm still scared of him.
I thought he was cooked last year.
He's playing great this year.
No,
Yeah.
I thought, you know where I thought we were at? I thought we were at the end of his, like the final stop, and this was it. And then he didn't start the season. He was hurt. Fields was playing. He's surprised me like how well he's played for them.
Yeah, he's got his confidence back. He's this is the greatness of Mike Tomlin as a head coach, the Steelers culture.
Yep.
For developing players and putting them in an environment where they can thrive in. They brought Russell Wilson in for a reason, and you got to give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit. You know, when they were 4-2 under Justin Fields, he could have easily stuck with Justin Fields.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
And
for you to do
nobody would have said anything.
Yep.
Nah.
So he actually went against what a lot of people thought was conventional wisdom and decided, no, Russ was always the plan and to stick with him. And so they stuck with him. And I think the reason why they've done it is because Russ brings them a sense of stability. There's a veteran presence there. Like Justin Fields may have the higher ceiling, but he also has the lower floor as far as things that could go wrong.
And then not only that, you talk about the veteran, like you said, the veteran presence that he brings, and it gives them the opportunity to be exactly where they are right now.
Russ has been in this position.
Yeah.
Like Justin Fields doesn't know what it's like to win at the NFL level. Russell Wilson knows what that's like, and Russell Wilson knows how to be a game manager.
And not only that, I think by having Russell Wilson going in there doing what he's doing, you're giving Justin Fields an opportunity to grow into that position.
Sure.
So that whenever, say Russ, it's safe to say Russ is probably going to be there for like 2 to 3 more years.
Probably going to get 2 years.
Well,
He'll probably get some type of 2 or 3 year contract.
So with that being said, in 2 or 3 years, if you play it right, Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback and still going to be able to step in there and be the quarterback of the future.
Joe has brought this up on show with you guys. Like, Russell Wilson early in his career is similar to Jalen, how Jalen was, but the way Russell's playing this year is also similar to how Jalen's playing this year. He doesn't turn the ball over. They throw it deep. There's not much of an intermediate passing game.
Right.
So 2 very similar quarterbacks today and how they played this year and how they've been able to win.
The one thing I'll tell you about Mike Tomlin, he's going to play the book. He's going to play the game by feel. He doesn't care about kicking field goals.
He'll win games just kicking field goals.
Exactly. He'll punt the ball. So that's the way Mike Tomlin sort of coaches, and that's how the Steelers play.
Well, Russell Wilson 6-1 this year as a starter. So since he's been in, the only game they lost was in that snowstorm in Cleveland. So they've been tough to beat.
Quick question before we get your next 2 keys. We haven't said this today. It hasn't been billed this way. It's been billed as like the Pennsylvania thing. Are the Eagles facing a legitimate Super Bowl contender today?
Yes.
The Steelers are good, but
I think so.
No, they usually get left out of that discussion.
Yeah.
It's like you talk about that 5 or 6 teams that could win it, and everyone just kind of like puts them right on the other side. They're 10-3. And they're getting good quarterback play. I feel like they are.
Now their problem is they're in the AFC.
Yes.
So you got tougher teams. So if I'm looking at all those teams, I would probably have the Steelers behind Kansas City and Buffalo. And you know what? Some would say Baltimore,
but they beat Baltimore.
But Pittsburgh has Baltimore's
beat them with a bunch of field goals.
Yes. So they would be no worse than 4th to me. In the AFC, which to me says you have a legitimate chance.
Yeah, so number 2 for me, Merrill said this, so I'm happy to co-sign Merrill. Don't turn the ball over. Pittsburgh has the most turnovers forced in the NFL this year, 15 interceptions, 13 forced fumbles. But outside of that, the Eagles, when they don't turn the ball over, 7-0 this year, 9-1 since 2023, 16-1 since 2022. And 21-4 since 2021 when Jalen and Nick took over. So if they take care of the ball today, they will win the game.
I totally agree. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. If they lose, we're talking tomorrow about a turnover. If they won, there's no turnovers. I mean, I don't think the Steelers without Pickens can Can they go 70 yards
No,
five
they can't
times?
sustain.
No way.
No, this is a short game. Pittsburgh's going to try to win this game in the teens. I guarantee you that. They want to run the football, control the clock, shorten the game, and see if they can walk out of here still in a win, 16-10, 16-13, something like that. That's what Pittsburgh wants to do.
Well, and the other tough part of this,
they're not trying to they're not trying to win a shootout today.
The other tough part of this for Jalen is we all know AJ wants the ball. We know Jalen wants to get AJ the ball. The Eagles want to get AJ the ball. Jalen has to be careful with forcing it to AJ because the Steelers are one of the most opportunistic teams in the league at picking off the ball. So he's got to be careful today on where he forces it and the decisions he makes.
Totally agree.
Well, and also
that's the only way they lose this game, man. Ron Hebron in the building. Holla at your boy.
There we go.
I'm telling you, the only way they lose this game today is turnovers.
Let's throw one more thing.
Turnovers.
We all think, like Elliot, I think the same thing as you, like don't throw it in traffic, don't force it, AJ. Jalen also has to protect the ball when TJ Watt is near him.
Oh, Lord.
And Herbig and Highsmith and Preston Smith. Because I've watched a few Steelers games this year. They don't just sack you. They hit the ball out of your hand.
They're going for the ball.
They did it to Burrow. They did it to Lamar. They take the ball out of your hand. And I think Jalen Elliott's been better at that. Remember early in the year he was fumbling a bunch like the New Orleans game. Got to put two hands on the ball.
Yep. Well, that's perfect because it takes me to number 3, which I don't think we've talked enough about today. Pass protection. The Steelers' strength of the entire team is their defensive line. It's not just TJ Watt. Nick Herbig has been really good for him this year. Cameron Hayward, one of, if not the best defensive tackles in the league. No team in the league has hit the quarterback more this year than the Steelers have. So you look at this matchup, it's a great day to have Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson as your tackles. You always feel good about them. But Cameron Hayward in the middle, that's a big test today for the Eagles' interior offensive line.
Hugh, a few weeks ago, you said the Rams were the best front the Eagles have seen. Is this now going to be the best front?
It will be because this is a veteran front. You know, we were talking about earlier how, you know, they got guys on this front. What was it? Keanu, what was the big number 95?
I think it is. Yep.
Yeah, that when he got the Keanu Benton. He got a
it,
touchdown. Well, he got an interception last week. They put a lot of pressure on you, man. And this is a scheme that they've been in. This Pittsburgh Steelers has been running that 3-4 scheme forever. So they're very, very familiar with the ins and outs, the intricacies of running that. And they are a physical team, man, and they get after the quarterback. So, yeah, this is going to be a good test for us.
Well, and the tough thing, too, is the Steelers get after the quarterback. Jalen holds on to the ball longer than any quarterback in the league. So today, Jalen making sure he gets rid of the ball when he's on time and on schedule will be critically important.
Unless he wants to get hurt. That need not to be what you do today.
Yeah, like today's one of those things where if he takes 4 sacks,
Lord,
they might not be on the offensive line at all, right?
We might be looking at Kenny two gloves.
But it's also a day where if he's smart with the ball, like take a sack over trying to extend the play. The ball's in one hand, it gets knocked out. You're forcing the ball. Like, I mean, last week I know Bryce Young played great, and everyone says he outplayed Jalen. But the biggest play in that game was probably the turnover he threw at the end of the first half when the Eagles got some momentum going.
Points on the board,
it really could just be as simple as whatever quarterback turns it over today is the one that doesn't win the game. So Jalen has to be smart if there's pressure in living to see another down and not being risky with the ball.
Yeah, and look, there's been some games where they have protected for like 4 seconds. That's probably not going to happen today, Ike, against this kind of front. Like, he's got to get rid of the football.
You cannot hold that ball. You're not holding that ball 4 seconds against this front. I mean, TJ Watt, along with Myles Garrett, I mean, they have the argument to be the best defensive players over the last 5 years in all of football, man.
Yeah, they get after
I am not playing around with TJ Watt up front. Get rid of the football. Highsmith, Herbert, those guys, even Cam Hayward, even though we have a great offensive line, do not hold the ball back there against these guys. Get the ball out of your hands.
Well, yeah, that's a tough thing, too, because Eagles are an offense that like to get big plays down the field. You need time for those to develop. Jalen's not great at getting rid of the ball quickly. He'll do it if it's like a wide receiver screen or something where it's a quick one read. But if he's just back there like pre-diagnosing, that's not been his strength, and especially wasn't against Carolina. Guys were open. He was holding on to the ball. That's not going to happen against this pass rush.
So what do we think has happened here? Because 2 years ago, he was better, right? His first year as a starter, he held the ball a lot, right? Then 2022, his year where he finished second in the MVP, he got rid of it way quicker, Ike, than the last 2 years. We've cut it. Like, was 2 years ago the outlier, or was that Steichen? It's because it feels like he holds it now longer than he did back then.
Boy, I tell you. talking about Jalen,
it's never easy.
It never is easy.
There's always layers to it.
Well, because here's the
like
thing.
an onion.
Well, because here's what I believe. I believe that the offense isn't as simplified as it was 2 years ago. And it was simplified from him from a standpoint of being able to execute it. But the league hadn't necessarily figured out what they were doing completely. Since then, the league has figured it out. And the Eagles, like every offense, like every team does, they have to evolve as an offense, meaning you can't continue to do what you did back then. You have to add new things. And I don't think Jalen has digested these things as quickly as they would have hoped. So that's another way of me saying I believe that they brought in new concepts and different things they want to do offensively. And Jalen, it doesn't click as fast for him. Now, maybe it's because it's his first year in the offense and he needs another year in it, and maybe it'll look better next year. I can buy some of that.
His history says that.
I can buy that. I can buy that. But I do believe it's the idea of the new concepts, route concepts, protections, things of those natures that he hasn't completely mastered. He's mastered the picking up the blitz
because he's
much better at that this year. But I just think the route combinations and going through your progressions, it hasn't come as fast as the Eagles wanted to come, which is why I believe they've gone to a more run-heavy offense than a pass-heavy offense. They started the year off wanting to throw the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the other part of this, too, is I do think he is gun-shy because in 2022, he did not turn the ball over, right? We had 6 interceptions all year. Last year, I think he had 15 interceptions and then a few fumbles. Yeah. So I do think
he had 20 total turnovers.
Right. I think you see him in the pocket where if he's not 100% sure what he's looking at, like he very rarely throws with anticipation where he's waiting for the guy to make the cut or he's waiting for the guy to turn around. Like, so I think that factors into it. And I think they're right about this, but there are downsides. He believes if they don't turn the ball over, they will win. And as a result, you're seeing him not take basically almost any chances. I mean, you look this year, he took a chance against New Orleans and got picked off in the end zone. Took a chance against Dallas, got picked off there trying to get the ball to Goddard. So when he's taking 50-50 chances.
That might be the last time he's taking a chance.
And I don't think that's a coincidence, right? So I think it's definitely what you said, Ike. He's been through the league a few times, that they know what his weaknesses are. But it's also that he is so gung-ho on not turning the ball over, he's not taking chances.
Yeah, it's a fine line, and he's got to find that balance.
I was going to say, that's not a bad thing, but like you said, Joe, you got to find the balance.
Got to find the balance. If it's there, he's got to throw it because these receivers are really talented. All right, so Ike, Reese, Hugh Douglas, you guys have to take a trip to the field. So we're going to need your predictions on the game right now.
Let's go, Hugh!
We're not going to make people wait any longer. We're going to get the Ike, Reese, Hugh Douglas prediction right now on this thing. Hugh, what do you got for us?
I want that plant-based stuff out here.
Come on,
Hugh.
If y'all allow me to talk. I'm thinking 21-13 Eagles, man. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game, but 21-13, I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers have enough offensively outside of the tight end fire move that can get down the field.
21-13.
I'm with you.
Says Hugh Douglas.
Take the under. I'm with you. I got the Eagles winning this thing 23-16. I think it's a defensive battle that I believe the Eagles wind up winning late in the game. They get a big stop late in the game to seal the victory. But, man, we're going to get some old-fashioned football today. You got two physical teams.
Snot bubbles.
Yeah, they want to play with defense and run the football. I think we're at home. We have the better overall team. And quite frankly, when you're playing at the Linc, that's a W.
Oh, home field
Go
advantage. Go Birds. All right, there they go. Ike and Hugh on the other side. Elliot and I will give you our predictions, and we'll take a quick look around the NFL at the 1 o'clock games and the big ones to come later on this afternoon. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Hey, Eagles fans, this is Merrill Reese. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Philly's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a Philly area Verizon store.
Where will Jalen look this year? Left, right, over the middle? He's a smart guy. He'll be looking for the Deborah Heart and Lung Center Red Zone, and with good reason. Like the Birds, Deborah has raised the bar on cardiac excellence by being named a high-performing hospital by U.S. News and World Report. And our alliance with Cleveland Clinic Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute means that our patients get the highest quality of care that they deserve. After all, when it's your heart, your red zone, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them, sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx Casino app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours. Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 plus. Located in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan. New users only. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. Casino bonus must be wagered.
The best holiday plans come from the back seat.
I want a hot chocolate. I want to go sledding. Mom, play our holiday playlist. Yeah, play it.
Enjoy safe family trips this season. Sign and drive on select Volvo SUVs during the Holiday Safely sales event.
Modern Group is your Generac, authorized industrial distributor in eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey, helping power your team to victory. With generator sets of all sizes and fuel types, let Modern be your Generac provider. Modern Group also services and sells parts for all generator brands. Join a winning team. Modern Group is hiring technicians. Sign-on bonus, great pay, benefits, and employee-owned. Visit moderngroup.com for all your generator needs.
Gerhardt's Appliances has what you need to be tailgate ready this season for the Birds. Whether it's the in-home appliances needed to prepare your famous Kelly green pepper casserole before pregame, or the barbecue grills you'll need to fire up the last of your sausage links in the parking lot before kickoff, Gerhardt's has you covered with the best game day deals on appliances. Gerhardt's Appliances, helping Philly sports fans get the season cooking since 1945. Visit Gerhardt'sAppliance.com.
This football season, get in the game at Acme. Buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoop In and Win sweepstakes. You could win 2025 Eagles season tickets or autographed Eagles merch and more. Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
This week at Acme, don't miss the football items of the week. Utz party-sized potato chips for $3.99 each. Or the digital offer for Keller's Butter Quarters for $3.49. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
Talking Eagles Steelers. And me and my man Joe, we're going to break it down 10 to 2 p.m. on Monday on WIP.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for kickoff 4:25 today. The Eagles and the Steelers, America's Game of the Week on TV. Of course, Merrill, Mike, and Howard on the call. Elliot Shore Parks with me as Hugh Douglas and Ike Reese went down to the field. WIP presenting the game today.
Off representing us, doing a good job.
Yes, but now they've left the true football guys.
That's exactly right. Time to actually talk about the game.
Yeah, we got rid of the dead weight. Those guys are just gossip people.
Yes.
Now football guys are. All right, Elliot, let's talk about the importance of this one. How important this game is. I think you and I see it similarly. They need to win this game. It's not just like there's twofold. One, we'll get to the standings part, the NFC East and the one seed. But I just think for their psyche, and I heard you on Afternoon this past week say in the locker room, it just felt worse than a win last week. I just think for their psyche, they need this win.
Yeah, I agree. This is a must-win game for the Eagles. I mean, we can talk about whether last year matters, what we think about it, what you think about it, what everyone thinks about it. I do think in that locker room, if they lose this game, there will be a little bit of like, here we go again. Like the collapse from last year. Didn't play great against Carolina. Now against Pittsburgh, if they come out and they lose the game. I think you could start to see it slip a little bit. So when you say their psyche, I agree. I think they need a win today, and especially with as confident as Howard is. If they win this game big, I think you officially put all that behind you from last week.
Well, if they win it big, that would be 10 wins in a row. It would be a franchise record. It would mean, look, if they win big, they probably threw the ball pretty well, right? Like, the Steelers have a great run defense. If they win big, they probably threw it well, which means all the questions about Jalen and go away, and AJ's probably happy. And then you start thinking big picture, like, they could win the division next week. They can move on. Like, when are they going to lose again, right? Like, it's a fine line between worrying and then saying, hey, they haven't lost since September. And if they win today, it kind of brings that part back into it.
Well, the other part of this, too, is, like, I think they're going to come out today and run the ball. I don't think they're afraid of the Steelers' run defense. We've seen them run against better defenses than the Steelers. But this week they spent a lot of time in practicing the passing game, making sure the AJ plays are operating well, working on the timing, having Jalen get it out on time. So if they come out today and try to run those plays, and AJ's open, and Jalen's not getting him the ball, I just think the psyche of Jalen, of Devontae, of AJ, of the passing game will take yet another hit. And while I do believe they are good enough as is to win the Super Bowl, I think the passing game right now can win them a Super Bowl. I know we disagree on that. Clearly inside, they're frustrated with how it's going. So I do think today, not only do you need the win, you have to go out there and pass the ball well when you throw the ball.
So let's talk about the importance of the game from the standings perspective. So there is a chance, Elliot, it's slim, but they could clinch the division today. The Commanders are only up a touchdown in New Orleans.
Oh, they came back.
Yeah, it's 20-13. I'm not sure if the Commanders took their foot off the gas or what happened, but they have the ball. They're up 7. They're probably going to win the game, but it's not over yet.
Well, and that's the other reason this is a critical game, because if you lose today and Washington wins, and then you go to Washington next week, that's a big-time game. Like, that could get flexed to prime time. That becomes a must-win game. So this game today takes away the importance to a degree of next week.
Well, I'll throw this on top of it, too. Let's say they win today, Washington loses. It's over, right? They win today, Washington wins, they could clinch it next week. If they lose today and lose next week, all of a sudden this division is still not over as we enter the final 2 weeks. Like, I think we all believe they're going to win the division. But when the story is you could have clinched 3 weeks ago and it takes you 4 weeks to clinch, LA, that makes it uncomfortable if they have to go 2 or 3 more weeks to clinch. Like, just finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think what this team has to avoid is more talk about the collapse, more talk of pressure. They got over that after that game against Cleveland when everybody was mad at them, right? Like, was the season going to collapse? They've had a few times this year where things could have gone poorly, and each time they've responded. So I do think they will respond today. But if they can't pass it well again, and look, this is a good Steelers defense, then the questions become even louder. The questions at the press conference become even louder. They get asked about it more. So today's about stopping the storm that they themselves, for what it's worth, started this week.
All right, what's your thought on the other big game going on at 425? The Buffalo Bills in Detroit against the Lions. Elliot, it's one I'll have another eye on, because if the Lions lose, the Eagles, that path is still possibly open for the ones. It's another, like, it's a swing game, right? Eagles win, Lions lose. We're back in play for the one. Eagles lose, Lions win. That's dead. So what's your thought on that game? Buffalo is a slight underdog.
Yeah, I mean, today's the last day where we're going to find out if they have a real chance to get the number 1 seed. But I'll say this. I don't think the Eagles need the number 1 seed to go to the Super Bowl. Since 2021, they have the best road record in the NFL. They go on the road in any circumstance, dome, rain, outside, whatever, and they win. So going to Detroit would be tough, but ultimately they have gone into tougher environments than Detroit and won those games. So I think they would like to get the 1 seed, obviously. You want to have it here at the Linc. You want your fans. But I think Detroit needs the 1 seed more. Detroit can't come in the cold outside in January to this stadium and beat the Eagles. The Eagles can go to Detroit and beat the Lions outside.
So I think the Eagles could win a game in Detroit. Like, in a vacuum, like, I agree with the way you framed it. I do think that bye really could help, though. Like, the Eagles haven't had a bye since week 5. That's a lot of football to play in a row before.
Well, the other tough thing, too, is, like, if Washington, let's say, ends up being the 7th seed, you're playing them for a third time.
Sure.
That's never easy, right? Well, and the other part of this, too, is if you're the 2 seed, Green Bay likely goes to Detroit that second week, or for the Lions' first playoff game. That would be the 3rd time for them as well. So I think not having the bye would be big, but Detroit's path to getting that championship game will not be easy if they have to face Green Bay.
Yeah, it could be. That doesn't happen very often, where you face maybe the toughest team, even though you're the 1 seed. We'll see. That game going to be going on around the same time as the Eagles and the Steelers. All right, Elliot, let's lay it out here. How does this happen? How does it play out? It has been the most tumultuous week the Eagles have had since Sirianni shaved his head and yelled at a fan?
One of the most tumultuous weeks really in a long time.
I know.
When people bring up McNabb and T.O., the week is not off to a great start.
You do, but it could end with a victory. Elliot, your prediction, how does this play out today?
So I think the Eagles are the better team, and I think this year the thing that's impressed me most about them is their resiliency. They were down in New Orleans. They had that 61-yard play to save the season. Everyone's mad at them after the Cleveland game. They come out, they haven't lost since. When this team has been pushed, they have pushed back, and they pushed back stronger than the team last year was able to. So I think the Eagles defense has a major advantage today against the Steelers offense, and I think this Eagles offense can trip into 22, 23 points. So I think they win the game today. I think they silence some of what's been a really hectic week. And then, look, next week against Washington, you want to win it. It's a big game, but ultimately you win today, and you're in a great place.
Well, they would be in a great place if they win today. I mean, they have a chance to clinch the division and keep their sights still set on possibly a 1 seed. Elliot, there's certain things with this team that you just have to trust, and there's certain things that you have to, hope you can trust. And I'm at the point where I hope I could trust the pass game, but I can trust the run game.
Yes.
I can trust the offensive line. And I can't trust the defense. I mean, there were some thoughts last week they didn't play their best game, right? That they played better games. They still held the Panthers to 16 points. This defense has been trustworthy, and unless they have a rash of injuries, I don't see why it wouldn't be trustworthy the rest of the season. I'm going to trust them today. I'm going to trust the defense to find a way in a game where the Steelers don't have their best weapon. If George Pickens was playing LA, this might be a different story because he might be able to make one play in a close game, and then, they get a touchdown instead of a field goal, and it changes everything. But it's hard for me to see the Steelers coming in here and moving the ball up and down the field. And as long as the Eagles play to what they've done, which is run the ball and not turn it over with this defense, that's tough to beat that.
Well, and that's the difference between last year and this year. Today is about making sure last year doesn't repeat itself. The Eagles defense is so much better than they were last year. They have better players, but more importantly, they have better coaching. So why are they going to win today? I think Vic Fangio is a big part of that reason. Without George Pickens, the Steelers can't run the ball. I don't think the Steelers are going to move the ball at the level that we've seen offense at the end of last year do it. So I trust in the defense. I trust in these players to respond to it. I thought Spadero saying that he's there all week as well, that they'll respond was convincing. I really do feel confident it's a win today.
Eagles 20, Steelers 16. They hold Pittsburgh to 3 field goals instead of touchdowns late in the game. That wraps up the Verizon pregame. So remember to stay tuned after the game for the PDQ Restaurant Sale Point Assistance postgame show with Rob Ellis and Jason Avant. For Hugh Douglas, Elliot Shore Parks, Dave Spadero, Ike Reese, Ruben Frank, Howard Eskin, Dave Breitmeyer, Dan Wilson, Austin Yeh, Mike Angelina, Tucker Bagley, Ricky Valentine, and Steve Scalish. I'm Joe Gilliam. Now stay tuned for Merrill and Mike as they bring you all the action on the Eagles Radio Network presented